Hey, what's up, everybody? How are you? I am Rex Byers. You are in the SweatBox, Saturday, December the 13th, with me on YouTube TV, Twitch TV. Army Navy today from Baltimore for the first time since 2016. Game's a little closer to Annapolis than West Point this year. Well, I guess they played in DC last year, same case. That's the big sweat that just started. Obviously, the most important sporting event of the day and the biggest rivalry pretty much in all of sports. I've got on 9 different games. Cincinnati's beating Georgia on ESPNU in college basketball. Now Georgia just hits a three to take the lead. Um, I've got Evansville and Notre Dame on the ACC channel, 55-49 Notre Dame. They're 12 minutes to go in the game. Butler's hosting Providence on True and TNT. Creighton is hosting K-State in a non-conference game on Big Fox. George Washington is at Florida on ESPN2, 23-22 Gators, close game. That's actually not in Gainesville. It's in, I believe, it's the Orange Bowl Classic, so down in Miami or Sunrise or something. It's an annual game that I think the Noles and the Gators both play there on the same day. ESPN, you've got, I think they're between games. They're showing Indiana, Kentucky highlights from 14 years ago. Tom Crean's in the studio. Arsenal Wolves are on USA Network. You got the first place team against the last place team in the Premier League. No score at the Emirates, 28th minute. And the other football game that's on in progress, the Celebration Bowl. Champions of the SWAC against the MEAC. South Carolina State has come from 21-0 down at halftime, and they are tied with Prairie View A&M. And let's see, this game is in Atlanta. And South Carolina State has a first down, 20 seconds to go in regulation. They're out of timeouts. There's a flag, so the clock will stop with 21 seconds left. Field goal will win it. I will be around. I'm not going to commit to a certain amount of time today. I'll be around for sure. There will be UFC later on tonight, obviously the last card of the year. The NBA Cup semifinals are tonight at T-Mobile. Those start in 2 hours from now. I think Amazon Prime has the coverage for both. I'll stick around until at least that game goes. The first one between New York and Orlando. Not committing. I will be gone for sure by 7:30 because that's when IU plays against Kentucky at Rupp. Dick Vitale and Charles Barkley are working together. I can't wait to hear that. I'm not a big Vitale guy, but I am aware of what he's done for the game of basketball and what he's done with cancer research and in cahoots with ESPN and Jim Valvano back in 1993. Looks like Louisville's getting ready to play, no? Yeah, Louisville and Memphis State. Okay, this will be a good game at the Yum Center. So that's the ESPN game about to tip off. Also, ABC will have South Dakota and Montana in the 1AA playoffs. That's going to come. It says 3:30. They're going to delay it a little bit, especially if this other game goes to overtime. Worst case is they'll put it on ESPN News or whatever for a few minutes. But yeah, I'll be gone. Not because I would like to listen to Barkley and Vitale call a game together, at least for a little bit. If it's really bad, then I'll give up. But either way, I certainly want to focus on the Cats. They've lost 4 times this year, yet to beat a good team. For those who know, I grew up a UK basketball fan, and I was very excited about the Mark Pope hire. I still am. I think he's a really, really smart guy. He's a great person. Have had multiple chats with him before. Talked to him at the airport after we were waiting on luggage when he was coaching Utah Valley State. When I was coming home from Costa Rica for Christmas, he's just an absolute class act. Cats are laying 3 tonight to IU, 3.5, 159.5 the total in that game. Feel free to go into the chat. Ask me about anything in terms of college basketball games, numbers, thoughts, sides, prices, whatever, and I'll be glad to discuss. Same thing with the 2 NBA Cup games. I'll give you that later, and then I'll also run down some hockey coming up tonight. And feel free again to ask about any of the fights as well. like I say, not really necessarily a day I'm going to do a whole lot here, but it's imperative to be able to have a chance to do something live. Army Navy. And if you did not know, or if I had not made it clear, I can't remember if I said anything or tweeted anything. I don't think I did. But we are involved here. Uh, Guy that I work with, he leaned Army, and I liked Army. I made the game closer to like a field goal. I think taking 6.5 here was a good bet. It could lose, but I just thought once it was in the 6.5 range, it had to be a take. First drive of the game, Navy takes it right down the field, 13 plays, 80 yards or 70 yards or whatever it was, touchdown. Not really any real sweat. Took off 7 minutes, and quarterback keeps it Helms. He's really close. His second effort's going to get him the first down. This game is on CBS, so I will be ahead of you guys on the feed in this one. First down, Army at the 21, barring a horrible spot. Yeah, the head linesman's already waving them forward. Monken actually has a winning record in this rivalry. He's 5-4. I don't know if he was the coach the first year. I know that Navy won every game from 2001 to 2015, 14 in a row. Army got him in 2016. It's been fairly even since then. The last two were split. Last year, Navy as a dog, I think they were catching 6 in D.C., beat the Army 31-13. The quarterback for Navy, Horvath, had a monster game, and he's already starting out with another one today. Army running an outside play here. Gets a little bit outside. There's a face mask. I don't know if they saw it or not. 27's begging for it. They don't get it. Give him a couple yards. Oh, here comes the flag. Late, but they got it. South Dakota and Montana are underway. One second here. I was going to see the Grizzly Stadium capacity is 25,000. It's supposed to be one of the most picturesque places to watch a game at in the country. I'm not aware myself. I've never been. I just heard nothing but good things. I know they get loud and they travel. First and goal for the Army at the 10. Helms breaks down to the 2, maybe the 1 after a scramble, and that will end the first quarter. My guy Sammy P stuck in there. Sammy has under 7.5 in the first quarter. What a sweat. It falls 7. And Army's about one more play for getting it to 13. But he gets in there. That's why I can't get involved in that. Just so much randomness when you talk about quarter bets. I mean, because there's no urgency, you know. There's not like you're going to have the cream rise to the top. There's too much variance. 7-0 at the end of one. Again, involved with Army plus 6.5 here pregame. Live price coming shortly. It looks like I'm seeing 6s pop for Navy, 41 flat the total. 6 and 41. Pregame price closed 6 and 37.5, 38. But yeah, I would like to get up to Missoula for one of those games. I mean, Montana's supposed to be really nice, and it gets loud there. That game is underway. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the box. The earlier game today, you had Villanova go to Tarleton and upset Tarleton State. Tarleton State was laying 12.5 yesterday, or 12 at open, and it actually opened closer to 10 and earlier in the week, and it got bet up all the way to 13 and a half at some spots, and 54.5, 55. Villanova outright. They've really improved a lot since the start of the year. I wasn't impressed with Villanova much in September. Since then, they've been as good as anybody east of the Mississippi, and they showed it. They're still alive and kicking as they go to the semis and clinch their spot. On the other side of the bracket, Montana State last night beat Stephen F. Austin. They are the Bobcats are the 2 seed. And they will play the winner of this game that's starting now in Missoula between South Dakota and Montana. South Dakota, the 11th seed. Big win last week. I raised their number up a lot. Montana with a really impressive win. South Dakota State was without a quarterback. Sorry, when they had their quarterback, they were undefeated this year. He missed a few games and they lost them all. And last week they had the quarterback and they still got beat. Montana punished them. So really impressive win there by the Grizz. They lay 8.59 yesterday. It opened 6.5 and it closes 8.5, 59. I made the game a lot. Well, I'd say a lot less, but less. Like not bettable. Like I wanted 10. But I could see value still, and it would be the dog or nothing for sure. I made the game closer to like 5, maybe 5.5. South Carolina State and Prairie View A&M are in overtime in Atlanta in the Celebration Bowl. Prairie View will start with the ball. That game is on ABC. South Dakota, Montana currently on ESPN News. 673, some injury news. Oregon, Biddle, the center, who's probably one of their best players, is going to play today against Cal Davis. I know that there was sharp money for Cal Davis. Speaking of Cal Davis in football, my friend Motoy, who's at Wynn, also likes Cal Davis today. That's the other playoff game that starts in about 90 minutes. They play at home against Illinois State. Illinois State, an unenviable task of going out to Davis, California, after winning at North Dakota State last week as a 23.5, 24-point underdog. I have them power rated higher than Cal Davis. Illinois State, I think that they're the better team. But this is a really, really tough ask when it comes to the travel. I would make Davis probably a 2-point favorite. Currently, they're laying 3, total 58, 58.5. No disagreements there whatsoever, and no play for me. Pre-game, it's probably going to be difficult to get a live line. The good news is there should be. It looks like Chris has got it. The good news is there will be halftimes for these games, so I will have them on, and we'll talk about whatever here. Army's drive is almost equivalent to Navy's. If they score a touchdown, both will have 13 plays and 75 yards, and the time of possession will be very close to the same as well. From the 1, Helms bangs it right in, touchdown. USMA, the United States Military Academy, has found the paint. And the white shirts and the blue coats and the silver helmets celebrate. 14:55 to go in the first half. 7-6 Navy, point pending. It's so fascinating to watch these offenses and the defenses react to how the offenses play because they're mirror images of each other. Both teams have certain variations that they run on their option, but there's a reason why both teams are bowl eligible once again. It's because not only do they execute at such a high level, and then now the difference is, and I think the CBS guys brought it up, and it was a good point. The athleticism in this game is just so much higher than what it's been. In the last few years, it's really gotten to where they're recruiting at a better level. The players that are here clearly want to be here, and they're good enough to play at a higher level. Navy didn't win 9 games in the 5th best conference in the country by accident. Seven to 7. Live price, they didn't trust Army to score down there. The live line was 6 at the end of the first quarter. Now we got 4.5 and 5. Total up to 44 and 44.5. No opinion. I'll let you know if I see something pop up. Certainly, we have, for those of you just joining, I welcome you into the SweatBox. I am Rex Byers, your host here, YouTube TV, Twitch TV. Underway on a Saturday afternoon. Got one soccer game on the tube, 2 college football games, the rest college basketball for the time being. Like I say, feel free to chat about anything you want. Otherwise, I'm just going to freestyle, which is what I'm good at anyways. Let my ADD-riddled mind wander freely and see where it takes us. The Celebration Bowl, I don't think I mentioned the number in that game. What did I make that anyways? I know I did the work on it. Where did I write that down? I got a barrage of papers here, and I got no clue where anything is. It's like pissing in the wind. Prairie View played Jackson State. That was last week. Let me look. I know it's close to the number because otherwise I would have had something to it. May have even showed up at halftime or a little earlier. But there was nothing to see. I mean, it was 21-0. It was ball games. South Carolina State now has a chance to win the game with the touchdown. Prairie View does kick the field goal to start the overtime. So Helms and Horvath, the two quarterbacks for these teams, both tremendous football players, have scored touchdowns already today. Let's see. My number Prairie View is 64 and a half. My number on South Carolina State, 69. So South Carolina State like 4.5. Oh wow, I would have had a South Carolina State bet for sure. I must have misread my number. Did I raise that or did I not move it? 64 and a half. Jackson State? No, I didn't touch Prairie View, so I needed to move that. 66. Would have been South Carolina State like 2. Yeah, it opened South Carolina State 2.5. That's what happened. So the number opened about what I made it, and then they bet it all the way to Prairie View, the favorite, 2.5. I would have taken 3, probably not worse. So I don't feel like I'm missing anything here, no matter what. I don't think I want South Carolina State to score. I'd be kind of mad at myself for missing it. Money line or whatever, especially when they're down 21-0. This is it for those two teams. Their season will be over today. The 1AA season will conclude for 4 other teams as well. Well, 1 last night, 3 more today. And the semifinals of the 1AA playoffs are next week on the 20th. There will be 2 games. I think ESPN will have one and ABC the other, if I remember right. An interesting conundrum tonight for Indiana University basketball and football fans. I don't know what time the Heisman Trophy presentation is, but the basketball game at Rupp is at 7:30, and it's on ESPN. Is the Heisman on ABC? I don't even know where they're putting it. I don't even know what time it is. I'm not interested in nearly as much in it as most. I mean, I'll find out who wins it whenever they tell me. You know, it's not like I have to know immediately whatever happens beforehand. It's not like, and I'm not. Also, I have no investment. I know there are people that are heavily invested on both Mendoza and Pavia, who seem to be the only 2 real players that have a chance to win it. I actually have good friends on both sides of that one, so one of them's going to be really happy in about 6 hours or whatever, and the other one's going to be pretty devastated because I don't think that either one of them has really thought about hedging much. They both seem pretty confident in their positions, and they were taken a while back at really, really good numbers. Navy loses 2 on first down, 2nd and 12 to 23. Horvath kept it the first time. This time he gives it to the fullback. They power it forward out to the 32. Be 3rd and 3. Clock will move inside of 14 minutes. Navy got their yardage back, and they're now back in a doable down and distance here. Call it 3rd and 3 for the Navy. I don't even begin to try to describe their formations because I'm not smart enough to know wishbone football or triple option formations and offenses. Just a lot of eye candy. I do good to keep up with where the ball is. Horvath kept it that time and plunged it behind his left guard, and he did not get there. Let's see what they decide to do here. Both these teams are notorious for going for it. The cameraman in the back end zone got fooled. They're on the right hash. It will be punt formation, 4th and 2. Navy has punted 30 times this year, which I would have been under that for my lungs. He does punt it. Not a good one. It's going to go down, and the Army will start at their own 35. And Army breaks serve. 12:37 to go in the first half. Navy 7, Army 7. Black Knights still catching 3. I see Pinnacle at 3 minus 15. Chris was 3.5 dog money. Total 41.5 with juice to the under. Curious to see now if Navy will make their adjustments on defense and get a stop here. I don't know. It's tough because they had that whole first quarter to figure out what to do, but that Army only had to go 2 yards. Second overtime up in Atlanta after the field goal by South Carolina State. They have the ball first now. It flips around in the second overtime. $41 now, the consensus total, flat. Navy 3. Perhaps the most surprising development currently is Wolves and Arsenal at the Emirates in North London. Still no score. Top team in the league at home against the bottom. The other 3 Premiership games today, all final. Chelsea 2-0 at home over Everton, laying $1.40. Liverpool 2-0 at home, laying about the same price at home over Brighton and Hove. And Fulham wins at Turf Moor against Burnley 3-2. They were laying about $1.05 or even money depending on where you shop. Arsenal was laying about $8 to $9 pre-match. 2 goals, maybe 2.25 on the Asian handicap, maybe 2.5. Let's see. Yeah, and the live price now, if it goes in halftime like this, will probably be like $3. So Arsenal, you get a big discount here. Probably worth a look. Just based on the form of the season. All right, Army, 12:37 to go in the first half. They take over. Helms out of the gun. Here comes some motion to the left. Helms will keep it behind some blockers. Bangs his way through the middle for about 4. I think that if you asked Monken going into the game, he would pretty much take that play 10 times out of 10. Give us to the back. Howard bangs his way through for about 8 and a first down for the Army. At the 46, Army first down. Motion left, pitch to the back, that motion left. He bangs his way for about 2. McCaffrey for the 49ers now listed as questionable tomorrow against the Titanicals, game 479, 480. I wouldn't be surprised if he sits. In the grand scheme of things, this game is rather insignificant for San Francisco. Play fake. Helms keeps it. Gets maybe 1, possibly 2. Pass. Helms caught. Complete. Broke a tackle. First down Army. To the 40. 35. 30. That's short. Helms to short. Good concept and route against the man defense for Navy. And Army's in business. Helms got a little pop there. Don't think he liked it too much. 18 plays for Army. 2 of them have been passes now. First down to 31. Helms will keep this one. Through the middle, power play. First down. Gain of about 13. Right off right tackle. Excellent execution. Nobody scores in the second overtime of the Celebration Bowl, so we're headed to the third OT. 38 all. That reminds me, I need to get the box pulled up of South Dakota and Montana. The Coyotes were on the road last week and thumped Mercer. Actually shut them out. Another difficult task this week, going all the way across the country there for them as well. Illinois State and South Dakota, the 2 Missouri Valley Conference teams. Tough asks. Montana 10-0 early over South Dakota. 5:32 left in the first quarter. Yardage is 102-9. Grizz got the ball first. TD, fumble for South Dakota, and then a field goal for Montana on the short field. 2nd and 6, and this time Army goes backwards. Helm's going to lose about 3, maybe 2. 2-point conversions now for the wins in the Celebration Bowl. 95 blew the whole play up. Nobody had a chance. Be 3rd and 8. Clock moving inside of 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. Army out of the pistol. Trips left. Quarterback keeps it. Power. Bangs his way through for about 7. It's going to be 4th and 1. And these are the plays that Monken just dreams about. Helms has already had 13 carries for 69 yards. Horvath 10 for 45. What a fun game to watch with 2 great quarterbacks. Neither one's thrown an incompletion yet, although they've only thrown 3 passes total. 38 plays total. Here we go. Play clock down to 10. Jumbo formation. Everybody at the line. And we got a clock stoppage. Army's going to call the timeout. 6:35 left in the first half. 7 all. In Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. Two-point play, incomplete by Prairie View, and South Carolina State will have a chance to win it on their 2-point conversion. I just noticed the Cincinnati game against Georgia is not in Atlanta. It's not in Athens. It's in Atlanta. Bearcats trail by 6. Under 8 timeouts coming. They're in a 1-3-1 zone this time. Georgia, nice job of attacking it. The Bulldogs actually lead the country in scoring at 99 plus a game. I think they're 8-1 and they've scored 100 points 5 times. 2-point attempt. South Carolina State play fake, roll right. Nothing. Incomplete. Fourth overtime coming. This time they'll have to go first. Oh, it's a doubleheader in that Cincinnati, Georgia. So the 4:30 game is what? Auburn against UT Chattanooga. All right. I'm surprised Auburn's laying 21. Chattanooga's better than that. I would be on the dog for sure in that game. Live price in Army Navy. Navy laying 2.5 at Chris and laying 1.5 at Pinnacle. 1.5 in town as well. I would consider taking 1.5. If it was 4th and 3, it'd probably be a bad bet. 4th and 1, Army's a pretty significant favorite to get this with Helms. 39.5 and 40, the live totals. Montana's in again. Jesus Christ, they're going to beat this team by a million. 16-0. I'm not sure what happened yet. Maybe they took it. No, they took it away. So there was a fumble and a sack, but the replay took it off. Still had to, on 4th and 1, they punted it. So Montana takes over at their own 23, up 10-0. 4:01 to go. It's 4th and 2 is what they say. It looked like 1 to me. Let's see what happens. I think Army will get this. Let's see. Bunch formation, jumbo, the same as what they had last time. Motion right. Helms goes power right behind the motion. It's a first down. Gain of about 4. Would not be surprised if Army is the live favorite now. And yes, Army now favored 1.5, 2.5 for the places that are booking it as the game progresses without the commercials. The funny thing is the Army was going to run that play. They wanted to make sure they got it right, so they called the timeout. Navy almost for sure had to know it was coming, and they still couldn't have a chance to stop it. That's just flawless execution. First and goal at the 8. Motion left. Short. Power play again, Helms off that right side. He likes it over there. Give him 3. It'll be second and goal at the 5. South Carolina State ran a play where the guy hit the ball off the pylon, but he might have been out of bounds first. It was a weird play. Oh, they're showing the replay from the Sky Cam. I don't even know what the right call is. Whatever they called it on the field is going to be hard to overturn, I think. Helms keeps it. Lead right. Gets only 1. The 3rd goal at the 4. Clock will move inside of 5 minutes to go in the first half. Top of the hour. 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock out west. Thank you for checking out the Saturday slate. First one without a barrage of college football games, but there's enough to wet the whistle today. We got a regular bowl game tonight. Boise against Washington State, SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Washington laying 9.5 against Boise, 53 the total. Would only have the dog there. It's a dunk, it's a short, he catches it. Stacked up at maybe the 3. Little bit of a push, not enough. It's going to be 4th and goal. And they're far enough away, they're probably going to have to kick it. Good execution by Navy there on defense. That's the safety. Yeah, 16. What a nice play. Dawson Jones will come out to attempt a short field goal, most likely. The kick is good from 20, and Army has taken the lead, 10-7. 3:45 to go in the first half. Navy with all 3 of their timeouts left. Typical Service Academy half. Game started about 40 minutes ago, and there's only 3 minutes left until halftime. They may have to double blankets on the commercials here. Give us this one, and then after the kickoff, do another one. Slow things down a little bit. CBS not getting their money's worth here. Couple of noteworthy finals in the college hoops from earlier. First, the live price. Back to now, Navy being the favorite again after holding Army to just a field goal there. Navy 2.5 total, 38.5 to 40. Anywhere in that 38.5 to 40 range. 2.5 the side price. Navy the favorite. Army leads at 10-7. Arkansas was a winner in Dallas earlier today against Texas Tech. Texas Tech a 2-point favorite. Arkansas impressively gets it done 93 to 86. Michigan State from, I think they were down as many as 15 at Penn State in a Big Ten game. Laying 12. They do not get the money, but they do get the win, 76-72. UMass is a 12.5, 13-point dog, a winner today, outright in Sunrise against Florida State, 103 to 95. That's the same arena where George Washington's playing against Florida as we speak. Purdue a winner over Marquette 79-59. They cover the 17-17.5. I lean the dog in that game. Oklahoma beats Oklahoma State in Bedlam at a neutral field, Oklahoma City, where the Thunder play. 2.5 and 3 was the line. Oklahoma the favorite, and they get the cash. And then, of course, like I said, the game's going on now. Providence Butler on True TV /TNT. 83-81. Friars at Hinkle Fieldhouse. 2:13 to go. And again, Georgia leads Cincinnati 65-57. 4:51 left in that one. Notre Dame has beaten Evansville 82-58. They cover all numbers as well. Okay, that's that. I guess the president's at the game today. South Carolina State has won the Celebration Bowl 40-38 outright in a game where the line flipped from them laying 2.5 to them catching 2.5. $40-38. Here comes the double bang I was talking about. 3:38 to go before halftime. And a second commercial right on top of the first one. $10-7. Navy will start at their own 22. Montana on the move again at the end of the first quarter. That game is going to be on ABC now that the Celebration Bowl is final. Montana leads at 10-0 over the Coyotes. They have it at the South Dakota 15. 1st and 10. Threatening to add on to the lead early. It's been a pretty balanced attack. They've thrown for 94, ran for 65. Total yardage 159 to 18. First downs 9-0. South Dakota quickly learning this is not Mercer they're playing. Got a malfunction here with the satellite. Let's see if I can get that rectified. ESPN2 feed froze up. All right, should be back in business. Oh, fuck's sakes. How about that? I go the first 45 minutes today without saying a bad word, and then one of the TVs messes up and I let one fly. Let's see, no change in the live price between 1.5 and 2.5 Navy. Total 38.5 and 39. So it's hard to believe that Celebration Bowl second half scoring was 35-17. No, 35-14 after 21-0 at half. And then they play 4 overtimes, and the score in those overtimes was a combined 5-3. No touchdowns were scored in any of the overtimes. Well, there are only 2 anymore, but the first 2 overtimes, no touchdowns, and then just a field goal each in the first, and nothing at all in the third on the 2-point conversions. underway in the second half at the Emirates. No score. First place Arsenal, last place Wolverhampton. All right, here comes the Naval Academy from the 22. 3:38 to go before the break. Play fake, and he's gobbled up. Big loss for Horvath. He had no chance. They sent rushers off both edges. Hofstra is in the Carrier Dome today, or wherever the hell they call it now. They lead Syracuse 3-2 early. That game is on the ACC channel. Second and 16. Clock moving inside of 3 minutes. Here's a draw. Nothing doing. Quarterback swallowed up again at the line. Got back to the line and no more. So now I'm surprised. Let's see if Army bothers to call timeout. They did not. 3rd and 2 Montana. Play fake. Throw to the end zone, and it is incomplete. And the Grizzlies may have to settle for a field goal. As good as the defense is playing, I think I would go for it here. Yeah, clock is still moving. They're gonna run it all the way down to like 2:15 before the snap. Big play, gun. Back offset to the right. All day to throw. Only a 4-man rush. Fires. Caught! Oh, the defensive back 7 for Army misplays it. And 22 for Navy with a big completion. The ball was in the air for an hour. I can't believe he completed it. Heidenreich, the receiver. He's caught both the passes for Navy. This one's for 21 out to the 37. Huge first down conversion. Army's going to kick themselves in the ass for that. God, that can't happen. Oh, man, that's a backbreaker. They were going to get the ball on the right side of the 2-minute warning with 2 timeouts left, and they get it at halftime. Chance to double bang. Oh, horrific turn of events for the Army. So now Navy out at their own 37. 2 minutes to go. Army does get it at halftime, but Navy has all 3 timeouts. They have plenty of time to operate here. Live price. Navy now the favorite, 2.5 and 3. Nothing I've seen so far tells me that Navy's ever going to stop them. I mean, Helms has been great. I think Army's still on the right side. Just like when pregame we took 6.5. I'd still take 3 if you gave it to me. But that play was a killer. Army would for sure have been the favorite if they got the stop there, even if they didn't score the rest of the half. It would be very tough to make Navy try to win the game with Army up 3 with the ball at halftime. Oh, man, that sucks. All right, well, yeah, 3. Remember, these games are so different because of the fact that the possessions are so low. Both teams, their goal is to have the ball for as long as they can, ball controlling drives, dominate possession, get 3rd and shorts and 4th and shorts, and they're not trying to beat you with the big plays. Montana did go for it on 4th down. They did get it, and now they're in the end zone. Eli Gilman on 1-yard rushing TV. 12:37 to go in the second, and it's 16-0 Grizz, point pending. They're in complete cruise control so far. Starting to feel like a pretty smart person for leaving this one be. Providence and Butler in a thriller at Hinkle. 87-86 Friars. 7-4 Butler, 7-2 on the season. 55 seconds to go. TNT or True TV is your go-to if you want to sweat the end of that. Louisville putting it on Memphis. They have a barrage of 3s by the Cardinals today. 47-30, they lead Memphis State. Inside the 4-minute timeout. Two-minute timeout at the 37s where Army will start, or where Navy will start, laying 2 and 38 before that play. It's a pass to the outside, a little hitch for about 5, maybe 6 to Heidenreich again. Curious to see how fast they try to play here. I mean, these teams for sure are programmed to go slow and eat up clock and keep their defenses off the field, but they, Lord knows they certainly practice enough these 2-minute and 4-minute offensive situations where you got to make plays. Over the middle, Heidenreich again. This is a first down inside the Army, 40 to the 39. Another completion. So both Colt quarterbacks are perfect today throwing the ball. One of them 3 for 3, the other 4 for 4. Horvath keeps it up the middle and bangs his way through for about 6. Clock is continuing to move. Navy with all 3 of their timeouts left. Clock will move inside of a minute to go. Probably would have called one there if I were Navy. Gun, 2 to each side. There's one back. He chips him. Out past Heidenreich is the first incompletion of the day for either team. 46 seconds left on the clock. 3rd and 4. Pittsburgh and Villanova will be the next game in this Big East on TNT. I guess that's what they call it these days. This is the first year of TNT and True having a full college basketball slate before the tournament. Yeah, the total yardage is 129 to 128. Here's a motion to the right. Horvath keeps up the middle, bangs his way through, gain of about 5, first down Navy. Clock will stop at the 41-second mark. Four-man rush again. Throws it over the middle. Hits the defensive back in the back. 24, the intended receiver for Navy. Third and 15 for South Dakota. They're getting woefully behind here against Montana. Clock moving, 11:07 to go at their own 20. False start, 3rd and 20. Play fake. Looks. Hey, he fumbles it. Slipped out of his hands, and it looks like Army's got it all the way out to 45. 19 seconds left to go in the half. There's a non-zero chance they're going to call his arm going forward, and it'll be an incomplete pass. But I think it's going to be a fumble and a turnover. Yeah, he was going to throw, and then he tried to stop it, and instead he... Okay. Huh. Wow. Okay, so it's intentional grounding or a fumble. I guess they're going to go to the replay. Let's see what Gene Steratore has to say. Yeah, there is a lot because it could have been a backwards pass. CBS is going to take full advantage of this for a commercial. 18 seconds left no matter what, at least as of now. They might tack on a couple if it's an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd and forever or first down Army at the 45. And I think with 2 timeouts left, Army's probably would there's no really nothing hurting them from trying to go ahead and get points here and double up, given that they get it coming out of halftime. One notable score in the college, 51-33. Kansas State is all over Creighton at the half in Omaha. A little bit of a surprise there. There goes the steam on UT Chattanooga that I fully expected. I couldn't believe that line. 21 and a half. What are you talking about? kidding me? Game is blasted all the way down to 19 and a half. Also some interest on Kansas at NC State. That'll be a fascinating game. I guess that's what's coming on ESPN after this Memphis State and U of L. I hope they don't plan on starting this Kentucky game at 7:30. It has to be like 7:45 or 8. Yeah, so that game started at pick. It went all the way up to NC State. There's 2.5s. Now the 2s are starting to pop. So Kansas money is showing up at the 2.5 level. Oh, wow. Good time for my TV to take a dump. Give me just a second here. I have to fix the remote situation. One of the TVs is showing under maintenance. That's the True TV game. I won't even mute myself. Bad situation there with that box going bad on me. Yeah, it's some sort of an upgrade that they want. I had to do with the other 3 boxes that are that same way. Should be good to go, I hope. Oh, for Christ's sakes. Hang on. What a fiasco. I thought I already upgraded that box. I'm not even going to penalize myself. You know, a lot of times I'll put the blame on myself when something screws up or if it's not working. It wasn't my fault this time. 17-0. This time Montana is punting. What's Territor doing up here? So Army has it now. 8 seconds left with a 31. Smash it through the middle to about the 28, and they center it up, so they're going to set up a field goal attempt. 2 seconds are left on the clock, and Army calls their second timeout. So I missed the first part there. Helms' first pass complete to Anderson for 24 yards down to the Navy 31 and out of bounds, and then they threw it to short in the end zone, incomplete. Now they'll have a field goal after CBS pays some bills. 2 seconds left in the half. 10-7 Army with the kick to go in and try to double up. Butler and Providence are in overtime, 89-all at Hinkle. Cincinnati has clobbered Georgia's 84-65. Sorry, Georgia clobbered Cincinnati 84-65, easily covering the 5.5 there. Game gets to, no it doesn't, 84-65 under the total, 157.5 the number there. Live price Army 2.5 and 37.5 and 38. So pretty close to what the game total was. All boils down to this kick, I guess. It's what we do at the halftime. Oh, they're going to review it whether they say that he lost a fumble? Surely not. No, there's no fumble there. Well, they're trying to steal the ball from him? I can't. I got nothing. There's nothing's ever going to show up of a fumble there. That angle is different, but there's still nothing conclusive that tells me 58 just stole it from him. I don't think so. I don't know how they give him the ball there. I would be really shocked if that were to be a. I mean, the call in the field down by contact would be so hard to overturn with that evidence. Yeah, there's not enough to overturn any of that. They're trying to piece together like multiple replays. The longer they look at this, the more they could fuck Army, but I don't see it happening. Like, in no world can they take the ball away. He's down. His knee's already down. Like, that angle there is the clearest angle yet that there's no loss of possession. That angle certainly looks like that was the one angle that looks like that there could be a theft. But even then, I think his knee's down. Yeah. Third down, 3 seconds left. CBS got their commercials. They're pretty happy about this. Jones will have a field goal attempt. He made a 20-yarder earlier. This is from the middle of the field, presumably where he wanted it, from 45. Snap, down, up. He's got it. I thought it was going to cook for a minute, and then it straightened itself out. 13-7. The United States Military Academy, the leaders at the break. I'm going to say maybe Navy 3.5 and 20 and a half, 20 and a half. 3.5 and 20 and a half. Navy. Let's see what pops. So, great start for those of us on the Army. Plus 6, 6.5. Can't ask for much more. The military academy quickly had the ball 3 times, and they scored a touchdown and kicked 2 field goals. Navy goes touchdown, punt, fumble. 13-7. Army with the last 13. We have reached the break in Baltimore, 13-7. $22 ties and 22 lead changes at Hinkle today between Providence and Butler. What a great matchup to start the Big East season. 23 ties as Providence hits a 3 to tie it at 96. I don't remember the last basketball game with that many ties and lead changes. I mean, that's as close as it gets. This game's tighter than a snake's ass. Montana at their own 25, up 17-0 against South Dakota. 7 minutes to go in the first half. Not much to talk about in that game, really. If something changes, I'll be sure to give it a little bit more attention. In the meantime, it's just a matter of how much do I adjust out Montana up before next week. Clearly, they mean business. They're trying to win the whole thing. Dustin May will leave the Red Sox and go to the St. Louis Cardinals. First half, absolutely ball sweat on the total at 19.5. That Army field goal puts it over the number. 13-7, the score at halftime. Army has the lead. First half goes over. Wow, Providence another 3. 99-98. Edwards with 30 now. 55 seconds to go. Butler's got a white dude with like, I don't even know what to describe his hair. It's actually beautiful hair. Looks like a cross between like Troy Polamalu and a model. And it's like kind of reddish colored. Oh, we got an Arsenal goal. It's an own goal against Wolves. 70th minute, and Arsenal, the league leaders, are on the board. Halftime price in Baltimore. I mean, that's a corner kick where the keeper it bounced off the post and hit a guy in the head. The keeper deflected it off the post and it hit the defender's head. Oh, no, it hit the keeper's head. Oh, that is just a complete lack of, I mean, that's so unlucky. Wolves. Navy laying 3. I thought it would be 3.5. I guess 3 is probably the right number. Given what we've watched, I liked Army before the game. I can't really say that I disagree with the thoughts now. So 3 is probably right. Total 19.5. There is 18.5 out there. I think that's too low. The fact is there were only 6 possessions at half. It might be like that in the second half, but Navy will show some more urgency, especially if Army comes out and scores a touchdown this drive. I lean over. I like it better than 19. I think that if you go over anything better than 19 flat, I think that's a good bet. The Westgate's dealing an 18.5. That's bettable. Ed, I don't agree with Ed's number there. Then again, I think he also laid Navy minus 4.5 too, and I don't agree with that either. We discussed it yesterday. I made a trip in and said hi to the Westgate guys. Had a nice appearance with my friends in that office. It's always a joy to go check them out and hang out with them. They picked my brain about a lot of shit. Ed especially asked me a lot of questions about how come Kentucky's basketball is so good, bad if Indiana's football is so good, like what's wrong? And I said it's not to do with the programs, it's the schools. Indiana's has a really, really good business, has really, really good business people and athletic administration behind their NIL and their portal people. They know what they're doing. They get the money distributed in the right places. Kentucky does not. Mitch Barnhart's behind the times as athletic director, and Kentucky's not committing their resources in the right places, which football with the new coach could be a problem if that doesn't get changed soon. And in basketball, it's already being a problem because the recruiting class for next year is starting to fall apart. They still haven't signed anybody yet. Anyways, Army up 13-7 with the field goal at the gun. They've had the ball 3 times. They've scored 3 times, and they get the ball first to start the second half. The more I think about it, the 3 price has got to be the right number. 2.5, I could never have more Army. even at 3. And I don't think I could ever think about betting Navy minus 2.5 either. Just game seems, while it's tight, I'm convinced that Army's showed up a little bit more ready to play and has held out some things once they realized they weren't going to win their conference and had a couple of disappointing losses earlier in the season. The North Texas beat them in multiple overtimes at home. They lost to Tarleton State at home. I think that the season sort of turned into this game for all the marbles. And Navy actually was playing for a conference championship all the way up to 2 weeks ago. So that's sort of where that's sort of where I stumbled upon that being that. What happened in the Butler game? Is it over? They put on Pittsburgh and Villanova. Oh, hang on a second. I got to get this rectified. I'm going to leave the mic on. I'll be back. Maybe 30 seconds at the most. So Turner has some free will to do whatever the fuck they want to, I guess. They just pulled the Providence Butler game off the TV and put Villanova and Pittsburgh on True or on TBS. No, on True. So TNT still has Providence Butler with the ball 100 all. Last second shot for the Bulldogs, fadeaway, no good. We're going to a second overtime at Hinkle, 100 to 100. Ajayi missed about a 16-footer from the baseline. At the horn, would have won it. We play on. The Grizzlies are in. Clock moving in the second quarter. 3:16 to go. 24-0. They lead the Coyotes. Does South Dakota have its first down yet? Yes, one. 14-1. 258 to 45 is your yardage. Phillips had a 17-yard carry on 2nd and 3, so the first down was on this drive. They're out past midfield, 3rd and 10. There's a completion for another first down. Inside the 35. They're in field goal range. That won't cut it at this point. Pretty much painted 3. The total's pretty much not moved anywhere. 19, 19 and a half. Almost everywhere. 18 and a half at the Westgate. University of Michigan has commissioned a full investigation into the practices and culture of its athletic department, centering on how numerous scandals have been both occurred and handled in recent years, a source told ESPN. All right, that'll be interesting. Dan Wetzel and Pete Thamel broke this about 2 hours ago for ESPN.com. Kansas State's lead against Creighton has been whittled to 61-55, 12 minutes to go. Hasn't come as easy this half for the Wildcats. All right, second overtime underway at Hinkle Fieldhouse. Again, True TV has Pitt Villanova and TNT continuing with Providence Butler leading into wrestling, it looks like. We're about 20 minutes from kickoff at UC Davis. They are the 8th seed Illinois State invades as an unseeded team, the only one still playing. Redbirds are catching 3, pretty much painted 3, 58.5. There are some 58s as well. That game is on ESPN Plus, and I will certainly make room to put it on one of my boxes. Probably get it after the well, I don't know. I shouldn't say. I'm not going to commit to anything yet. I'm still playing roulette with my remotes here. South Dakota has 3rd and 1 at the 23. Clock moving at the 1:15 mark when we got a false start by the left tackle. Tap out. You got to get back in there. Louisville leads Memphis State by 20 at the half, 57-37 at the Yum Center. I'm going to make a little adjustment to the television situation at halftime of the 1AA game. Pull the plug on South Dakota and Montana most likely. 3rd and 6, clock moving now 50 seconds at the 28. Pistol, snap, running back gets it, bangs his way up for about 3, 4 or so. Coyotes have 2 timeouts left. .39 seconds. They now have 1 timeout left. 4th and a long 1 or a short 2. Let's see. I feel like I'm missing some basketball that needs to be on. Like I need to upgrade my basketball situation here. The Providence Butler game's held me hostage. Game started at, it's going to be almost 3 hours old. 105-104, Butler leads at 3:15 to go in the overtime. I may have to give myself some volume on this game in a second. What time is it? 1:40, so 1:30. Cal Davidson, Oregon, Memphis, and Louisville. Oh, Nebraska and Illinois. I need to put that on. Peacock. Okay. Yeah, this is my first deficient grade of the day on the TVs. Coyotes are in. 4th and 1, they throw it. No, they don't. They give it to Phillips, and he runs it in from 23. And, okay. 258-101 is the yardage after that drive. 9 plays, 75 yards, 4:56 off the clock, 34 seconds to go before the break. And the Coyotes do get the ball at halftime. Grizz with 2 timeouts left. I don't know what they'll do here. Nebraska winning in Champaign would be interesting. I believe that the Cornhuskers are still undefeated on the season. I'm going to have to fix that actually right now. I'm not even going to bother to wait. Nothing moving in the Army game. Everything's still the same. 4:43. I'm Rex Byers here with you on the SweatBox. Thanks for checking me out. Saturday afternoon, YouTube TV, Twitch TV. I will be back. Let's call it 90 seconds. I'll leave the mic on. Hang tight. Let's see. ESPN Plus will go there. Let's see. Peacock. Gotta find Peacock. 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 Got a weird configuration with the TVs today. Wahoo, it's frogging. You got coffee in that thing. No, actually Mountain Dew. I'm not a coffee guy. Oh, wow, Butler, another three. 113 to 110, 35 seconds left. I actually put volume on that. That box is in the bottom left TV situation, and it's kind of a tough spot for me to get to from back here. I'm going to hit mute real quick during the timeout. I got to pull that box score up. It's going to be fascinating. And there has to be some sort of a record for lead changes and ties in this game. I mean, this is like an instant classic. I mean, it's the guy misses a dunk, then the Providence guy is dribbling around, he gets it stripped, and they kick it out, and then there's another pass out to a three-point shooter. I mean, complete haywire. Please, if you're not watching TNT, get it on there. I've got this incredible super delay on the ABC, on the channel that I put on a minute ago. ABC again. Halftime in Missoula. South Dakota will get the ball first. They trail at 24-7. I'll come with the halftime price here for you very shortly. That reminds me, I'm going to put on Fox on this one. I'm not sure what's happening in the Nebraska game against Illinois. I put on Peacock and it says this event will resume shortly. It's not at halftime, so why aren't they back yet? 37-34, Nebraska leads in Champaign late in the first half. Oh, it is. It already is halftime, I guess. The scoreboard channel's fake news. Nebraska was 8 for 13 from 3 at one point and led at 37-27 at the under 4. I don't know what the current score is. 37 also. Illinois scored the last 10 points of the first half. Second half. Are they losing the rights to Army-Navy? Danielson and Nestler are done? Or CBS is done? Well, here we go. They already started. Great job, CBS. We're running right all the way through the kickoff. Didn't even show the kickoff, I don't think. Army, 13-7 with the ball. Play fake. They're looking to throw it all day. Fires, complete. First down. 40, 45, 50. 45, that's short. He's their main guy, number 15 for Army. Big play to start the half. 9 seconds in, they're into Navy territory already. Great start. There was a little bit of second half oversteam at the end, 19 over, 19 and a half. I told you I made it 20 and a half and I leaned over. I would have liked to have gone over. 19 or better was probably worth a bet. So, the 18 and a half at the Westgate was certainly worth a look too. lined up in a single wing. Now they're going to go trips right out of the pistol, tight end to the left, to give us to the back. He goes off right tackle, bangs his way through for about 2. Providence and Butler is a final, and 2 overtimes. The Bulldogs have won it, 113 to 110. What a fascinating game. Coach is having a nice word at midcourt. Who is that? Kim English and Thad Mata, I guess. That's that's good stuff. Butler with the 6-0 run over the last 123 to win it. Neither team led it by more than 8. Second and 8, they throw it out of bounds, incomplete, so it'll be 3rd and 8 for Army. Largest run was 7-0, 30 lead changes, and it says 20 ties in the box score. That's crazy. Nigel Seeley's saying something happens at the Emirates. Let me put the volume up here. I got a little delay on this one, so Wolves might score.
Needed to get it in the second time of asking. Gomez might have been tempted to go for goal. He didn't.
Nothing yet. We're in the 90th minute. Oh! They're in. Deflection on a shot from the top of the box. And Wolves at the death. 1-1 at the Emirates.
Incredible.
Arsenal fans can't believe it. They're witnessing a bottle job. I love English people. What happened with Army here? 3rd and 8 at the 44, and they called timeout. 13:37 to go. Army still favored 4.5 at Chris at 40.5. But that's probably about right. I would actually say 4 would be a better number. Wow, nice play by that. That's a great finish. I thought 36 was shooting that. I think he was, but it still ended up being a pass when it was all said and done. 28 saw it coming in. 6 minutes of stoppage time at the Emirates, and the last place team in the league has shockingly knotted it up with the first place team in the league. Wolves yet to win a game in the Premier League this season. A shock draw here would do them some good and certainly give life to the teams that are behind Arsenal in the league chase. 6 minutes. There probably will be a 7th now after the goal because there was a good solid minute and some change where they didn't start playing yet after the goal came right at the 90-minute mark. 7 minutes to the top of the hour. We'll have Illinois State and UC Davis. I'll have a box score pulled up, and I'll be looking at that as well for halftime purposes. Montana leads South Dakota 24-7 at the break. I don't see enough of a market yet to give you a price and my thoughts. Just hang tight there.
Gabrielle watching that. Well, didn't panic. She took the step back that he needed. We're only in the middle of December, but you just wonder how significant the next 2.5 minutes, 3.5 minutes could be for Arsenal.
Yeah, I remember in those last couple of seasons when Mikel Arteta's boys have been chasing. And there was always a couple of games against teams that they should be beating. They just seem to get away from them.
Monken clearly disgusted with what was going on when he had to call that timeout.
Look, there's still time. They can still grab another one here.
Oh, and Arsenal in. Jesus. Gabriel Jesus has given Arsenal the lead in the 94th minute. False start Army. Jesus Christ, what are they doing? Everything was so good. They played a flawless and mistake-free first half. Now you got, I think the center just didn't snap it on time. It was his fault. Yeah. At the 49 now, 3rd and forever. Helm's back. They come with 4. He rolls right. He evades it. He buys time. He fires. Off his back foot, out of bounds into the Navy bench, incomplete. 4th and 13, they're going to have to punt. They were going to bring the house, and they showed it on 3rd and 8. On 3rd and 13, they only rushed 4. Army will be punting it for the first time of the day. They've only punted 29 times this year. This one looks like a good one. Fair catch is called for at the 11, and it's made. 38-yard punt, no return. 13:22 to go. They got Army laying 3 and 3.5. I would take Navy plus 3.5. I don't know. Shit. I feel like Navy's in moral win, holding Army to a field goal and nothing on those last 2 drives that went through both sides of halftime. This is Villanova's first trip to the semifinals of the 1AA playoffs since 2010. That's hard to believe it's been that long. They certainly were a power. I know when I was in Costa Rica booking that stuff. It seemed like it was been 2015 at least. K-State and Creighton, 72-68. Wildcats lead. This will be the first time that Creighton's within 5 since 7:11 to go in the first half. So this is as close as they've been in a while. That game is on Big Fox for those of you who are interested in it. I need to get going in about 3 minutes to get the TV situation. Oh, they're going to call that an own goal on Wolves, not a Jesus goal. So that's going to be 2 own goals for Wolves. That is brutal.
With an open lane, tip on Coon.
Rice, Arkansas State.
With an open lane,
Arkansas State was
tip
up
on
17 to 4.
Coon.
Sorry, I know nobody cares about that. I'm trying to keep track of as much as I can now so I don't have to do a ton of homework later on tonight. Nebraska, 8 for 15 from 3. Illinois, 5 of 18. Again, Illinois killing them on the glass, 23-14. Look forward to watching the second half of that one on Peacock. 37 all after a 10-0 run to end the half for the Illini. We're into the 97th minute at the Emirates, 2-1. Should go final any moment. Maybe another minute or 2 at the most. They had 6 is what they scheduled. Oh, Prairie View had a chip shot to win the game in the second overtime, or the third overtime, and he missed it. Or was it the second overtime? Live price in Army Navy is 3.5 on top. Army the favorite, 38.5 the total. There are some variations of the juice on both. Pinnacle actually has 39.5. They'll start it at the 11, 13:22 to go. Horvath in there down 6. Laying 6.5 for the game. For those of you who weren't with me at the start of the SweatBox, I do have an Army play in the game plus 6.5. Halftime price on South Dakota and Montana, 1.5 on the bottom with the Bobcats the favorite. 27.5 the total. I do not agree with that. I think the game should be Pick'em or South Dakota a small favorite. I realize it's been one-way traffic, but with that last drive, South Dakota may have found something. and they do get the ball to start the second half. And with that big deficit, certainly expect them to be firing shots the whole way, whereas Montana's going to be in preserve mode, try to stay healthy, keep themselves from getting injuries if they don't need to, reduce the amount of plays. Combination of a lot of factors. Momentum is switched. If we get the South Dakota that played last week against Mercer, I think that they'll put themselves back in position to have a chance, not to win, but to lose by 17 or less, which is all you have to do when you're catching 1.5 at halftime. Do like South Dakota plus 1.5 in the second half. It's actually going to be worth the play. Oh, the pass is intercepted. Incomplete behind the receiver. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Army. Let's go. I don't know if that was Horvath's pass behind him or whether the receiver just dropped it, but it just hit him right in the hands and bounced right to the defensive back. The Army sent a rush this time. There's motion. They had man coverage. It's a slant. He's open. He just dropped it. It was behind 22, who's a stud, but once he couldn't make the play, that's it. He gone. Oh, he's going to be down. Touchdown's coming back. The knee is down to 32, and that's where Army will start once they look at the replay. Great call by Gary Danielson. I didn't see it on the field. This won't take very long to fix. All they got to do is figure out how much time to put back on the clock. Army will take over at the 32 of Navy, up 13-7. Confirming the 32-yard line is where the spot is. Just a matter of what they do with the clock. I didn't see. Underway in Champaign, second half. Nebraska 10-0, 1-0 in the Big Ten. Illinois 8-2, 1-0 in the Big Ten. Nebraska 21 in the country, I think, by their AP. And Illinois number 13. Burmeister Haywood on the call for Peacock. I think there's a quadruple header today at Lee's Family Forum in Henderson. I thought I should think about going to that. If it wasn't for the IU Kentucky game, I probably would. They got games going for the next 10 hours. First one's Akron and Murray State. The Zips down by 5 at the half against Murray. That surprises me a little bit. I thought Akron was going to be the side there. Option left. Oh, man. Pitch it. What's he doing? There's nobody there. Hellam's bad read. And that was a quintessential triple option play where the fullback, they had the first pitch man, but the tailback was there. 2nd and 6. This time the give us to the back, and Navy has strung this thing out. That's the best they've defended that play all day. 35 was having none of that. He went sideways and then backwards. That loss is going to be substantial. I'm not sure what the forward progress is going to be or where they're going to spot him. It's 3rd and long, very long. Back at the 35, it's 3rd and 12, loss of 6. Maybe the 34, still loss of 6. Option right, Helms keeps it so far. He's going to turn it back into the 31. I don't understand why he didn't pitch it. 27's open again. Option left, option right. 2 of those 3 plays, he kept it on both of them. Yep. He just he waited long enough. He'd have given it to him at the right time there. The Navy defender committed to him. The pitch man was open. Clock moving inside of 10 minutes to go in the 3rd. It is pitch black, dark in Baltimore at this point. This is going to be from the right hash. This is the kicker. He's already made one from this length. One from 20 and one from 45. Oh, no, wait a minute. The career long was the 45. This is from 47 or 48. Snap down, up, and he's got it. Right down the middle. Just had enough leg. Extremely clutch, and I'm sure Army will take it. That was a catastrophic turn of events after the interception that was taken. The touchdown was taken away, but Helms gets just enough to get him into field goal range. And from that right hash, he was true. 3 for 3 today, and that's been the difference. Army leads at 16-7. 9:39 left in the third. Call it 48 is what Brad Nessler says. Let's see. Remote situations turning into a nightmare here. Basketball is much more difficult, I'm learning, than football when it comes to trying to get the TV situation fixed. 5:05 Eastern Time, 2:05 on the West Coast. You're in the SweatBox. I am your host, Rex Byers. Thanks for checking things out with me today. I appreciate your company. Let's have a fun time. Let's make a little bit of money here. Second half play on South Dakota against Montana, plus 1.5, small to medium for 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 units. It's in the chat. Feel free to do with it what you want. Good luck to you if you go. Illinois State and Cal Davis underway. I need to get that one on the TV, so I will be right back. I'll leave the volume on, and I'll check back in with you in the next 30 to 40 seconds. Hang tight. All right, Cal Davis has kicked the field goal against Illinois State. They lead at 3-0. First quarter, 13:42 left. Brock Spack in his 17th season at Illinois State. They lost last year in this same spot against this same team, and I think I had Illinois State in that game. Today, I did not make that mistake. No thanks to Illinois State, despite the great win. And the funny thing about that win last week is there was nothing accidental about it. They totally dominated the game. North Dakota State had a 78-yard touchdown on the first play of the game, and they had a defensive touchdown and a punt return touchdown. That was it. Another team, they were up 21-7, 24-7, and Illinois State slowly came back and basically asserted itself, imposed its will, and as a 24-point dog for them to win outright with that box score was just totally insane. If you didn't know any better, you'd think the other team was a 24-point favorite. Live price Army 4.5 and 5, total 38.5. There is a 39 under 15 at Chris. 16-7 Army, 9:39 to go as they kick it off here in Baltimore against the Naval Academy. Illinois State, huge kickoff returner. If there's no penalties, it's going to be a touchdown. I don't see any flags yet. If it stands, it's a touchdown, and we have Illinois State to the paint. Like I say, I made this game, I made Illinois State the favorite and a neutral, but the traveling situation's horrible. South Dakota went from Macon, Georgia to Missoula, Montana, back-to-back weeks now. Illinois State's going from South Dakota to Davis, California in back-to-back weeks from their home base in Normal, Illinois. Yeah, North Dakota State, so Fargo. They were in Fargo last week, and then they go to Davis. Yikes. Navy hasn't had the ball since that fumble late in the second quarter, I don't think, right? So that Army, yeah, they did. They had the interception. So Navy's turned it over, what, 2 times on the last 2 or 3 plays? Tries. Yeah, 3 plays at the interception. So they had the fumble and then Then so they had 2 turnovers in 4 plays. Biggest news today in the NFL, Phillip Rivers has been signed off the practice team to the 53-man roster. This means that he will not be elected into the Hall of Fame this year or any time before 2030. Horvath keeps it on 2nd and 5 off the left side, gets blasted into after about a 3-yard gain. Oh, no, no, no. No. I have to go make it. I messed something up here. Hang tight. 8:33 to go. Clock moving. 3rd and 2 for the Naval Academy. Motion left. The quarterback keeps it. He bangs his way forward for about 3. That'll be a first down Navy. Clock will stop as they reset the chains. Yeah, lots of help. Oh, Rice did come back and beat Arkansas State 77-76. Down 17. Take it down. First down pass is rolling right. Heidenreich is the intended receiver. It's incomplete. Be 2nd and 10. Not a good execution. Was open. Gain of about 5. K-State leads Creighton 81-74. Inside of 30 seconds left. Blue Jays cut it to 5. 19.4 left. Timeout. Cal Davis has it back at their own 29. Horvath up the middle, gets a first down and more. He's still going. Down inside the 20. First down Navy, 6:45 to go. Techka bangs it down for about 4. They spotted that to 21. So it'll be 2nd and about 7 at the, or 2nd and 7 at the 18 or 2nd and 6 at the 17. Clock will move inside of 6 minutes on this snap. Naval Academy down 2 scores. Big drive here for South Dakota to start the 3rd quarter against Montana. Remember, we took the 1.5 there at halftime. Here's a big, Horvath gets behind a few, gets slammed into, but a decent gain of about 6. It'll be 3rd and 1. God dang, this dude's hit hard, man. There was going to be some Army subs, and then they ran 10 back out there. 88 rushing, 56 throwing so far. 5:15 to go. 3rd and 1 at the 12. Gooses it. Gain of 3, maybe 4. 1st and goal, Navy. First down, Cal Davis. into Illinois State territory at the 23. Trips right, delay, give to the back, makes a guy miss. 10, 5, close to the end zone, might have gotten in. As of now, touchdown Cal Davis. What a weird play. That trips right, all bunched up. They ran against it. Horvath has ran for 57 yards on this drive. He's going to really want to get there himself. And Army's keying on him this time. Goes back down to the 12. It'll be 2nd and goal there. Loss of 3. Play fake, roll right, fires to the back, incomplete. Oh, wow, really close to a penalty on Army for the smashing this guy. They didn't throw it. Not a good pass by Horvath. Let's be fair. Oh, man, 5 on him. He might get called for targeting. Well, that was borderline late. I've seen worse for sure. Gun. Backs both sides of Horvath. He drops back. He's going to fade the pocket rush. Gets it down to the 3. And now it's decision time for Brian Newberry. 3:38 left in the third. Clock moving. Down 9. I think they'll go for it. Nope. I'm wrong. Yeah, it's been a long enough drive. You don't want to come out with nothing, especially if you cut to a one-score game. I would say that this is definitely a win for Army. To hold them to 3 here after this. Left hash mark, 21-yarder, up and right down the middle. And the United States Naval Academy, Usnavi, has sliced the lead to 16-10. 2:59 left in the third. Army by 6, live line coming. Need to make one quick adjustment to one of the TVs. 30 seconds. Okay. Let's see. Should be all set for the time being. I got the SEC channel now showing the UT Chattanooga Auburn game from Atlanta. 29-19 Auburn at the under 8 timeout. Nebraska leads Illinois by 8 in Champaign as they try to stay undefeated. Great start for the Huskers this half. Those of you who like college volleyball, or those of you who were with me last week heard me talk about it briefly. My niece is really, really good high school player. She's a junior. plays on a pretty high-level academy team in the offseason that Louisville-based. I think this year she's switching to a team from Southern Indiana, but which is where she lives. But yeah, certainly there she's watching it. It's the Elite Eight in the volleyball tournament. ESPN2 has the coverage. Kentucky hosting Creighton. That's underway. Don't know what's the deal for the rest of the night with that, but I know there may even be both volleyball games on that channel. I'm not sure. I'm having all kinds of trouble with the box, and the problem is that box is the furthest away from me, so I have to keep getting up and fixing it. It's starting to piss me off. But that's on ESPN2. Like I said, it's in the most irrelevant spot because you can't bet it, but it's still, I have it on. It's fun to watch, and if my nieces want to chat with me about it, then I don't want to be completely ignorant about what's going on. I found women's volleyball to be a very entertaining sport, and the growth potential of it, I think, is as big as any women's sport in the country. That includes basketball. Be right back. I am getting real sick of this shit, though. At some point, I'm going to give up on that box and just tap out. Just have to catch up and see who wins it later, I guess. 5:20 Eastern Time, 2:20 on the West Coast. Thanks for checking me out. Rex Byers here with you on the SweatBox. We are live Saturday, December the 13th, and the U.S. Military Academy has a 6-point lead with the ball. The clock will start at the 2:59 mark when they snap it here from their own 25 after the Navy touchback. Helms under center, huge formation in there. 2 wing backs, 1 tailback, motion right. Helms runs it behind to the right. That play has worked well. They've ran it several times today with success almost inevitably every time. Illinois State is in again. Didn't take long. The Redbird offense, if they don't turn the ball over, is as potent as any in the 1AA level. There's a lot of things they do well. This is a touchdown pass, and they lead at 14-10 in Davis. 8:49 to go in the first. Put your track shoes on. I have completely conceded on South Dakota. They're down 31-7 against Montana. I tapped out on that game. It's on one of the slow feeds. I might have to switch the boxes around and put the volleyball on over that game. That's how bad it is. I'm going to go ahead and mea culpa the second half plus 1.5 bet. It could still win, but it sure looks like it's wrong so far. Problem is you just don't want to overreact. I mean, I've been keeping numbers on these 1AA teams all year, and this is when you're supposed to have a chance to win in the playoffs, right? But, you know, if one game you overreact to a result, the whole rest of the world's watching this stuff now after most of them haven't watched it all year. 3rd and 3 for the Army. Helms, we got a false start on the right tackle, 74. 3rd and 8. That's just, these are so uncalled for. Number 1 in the country in fewest penalties, and you got, that happened in the first half too. Put them in bad shape on the drive there. They were destined to get a touchdown most likely. Less than 3 a game. Motion left, trips right before. Helms fakes it. 90 gets him from behind. It's a sack. Ball is out, and they're fighting for it. Army fell on it, but he turned around, and Navy might have took it away. At the 35, they're still fighting over it. The Army guy was not going to let it go, number 2. It'll be 4th down. Nobody bothered to touch 90s. 2 was supposed to block him. At least he saw what happened and got the fumble. 25. Jesus, yeah, he had no chance. All right, so they have to punt it from the 25. Second punt of the day. It hits, and it's a good bounce for Army down inside the 25. Call it a 51-yarder after the roll. 24 seconds left in the quarter. 16-10. Army. Navy has the ball, though. Chance to take the lead. Wow, CBS is going to do us a solid and not go to a commercial for the first time all day after a punt. Or a change of possession, for that matter. Here's a run to start the drive. Quarterback keeps it. Horvath, he gets about 4, and that will be the last play of the third quarter almost assuredly. What happened here? That's it. Okay. End of 3. Army 16, Navy 10. Let's go over the box right quick. I'm thinking about it here. Army 16-10. It's going to be second down at the 27 for Navy. Yardage, as close as it could be. 195 to 193 Navy. Passing yards, Army is Helms is 5 for 8 for 82 yards passing. Horvath 4 for 9 for 56 yards, and that interception leading to the Army field goal earlier in the half. First downs 11 to 10 in favor of Navy. Horvath 25 carries, 99 yards for the Naval Academy. Helms 22 carries, 91 yards for Army. There's just no separating these teams really. Heidenreich, the only 4 catches of the day for Navy, 56 yards. A long of 21. That was the 3rd and 17 that got Navy on the move late in the first half. Short, 3 for 51 with a 29-yarder in there. Anderson, 2 for 31 with a 24-yarder in there. Again, first down's 11 to 10. Time of possession is 22 minutes and 55 seconds to 22 minutes and 5 seconds in favor of Army. 2 turnovers for the Naval Academy, leading to 6 Army points. Army leads by 6 points. Drive summaries today. Navy started with the ball first to start the game. They went touchdown, punt, fumble. Army goes touchdown, field goal, field goal. Second half, Army gets the ball first. They go punt, field goal, punt. Navy, INT, field goal. This is their 3rd drive. They have run 1 play. So as for the game, this is only the 6th drive for Navy. Army's had it 6 times as well. The game's sitting 26. The live price currently, Army -3 and 36 under on the total, which looks about right to me. No live play. There's just nothing to be had at this point. I feel very confident thinking that the play going into the game was always Army +6 or 6.5. Got both in a game that I thought couldn't be any higher than 3.5. So certainly with the low total, it's in the high 30s for the game, which consistently it is when these two play each other. Got the best of it, and that's all you can ask for. So going to the fourth quarter with Army in a good spot, 16-10. Has not been a great second half. Offensively, only 28 yards for Army on offense on 11 plays. The Naval Academy has ran 17 plays for 78 yards. But again, that first drive was a 3-play drive after an Army punt, and then they threw a pick that Army took over at the 32, kicked the field goal. Navy goes 13 plays, 72 yards, but has to settle for a field goal on 4th and goal at the 3. So that's your game recap as we go into the fourth quarter. In Baltimore, it's 16-10 Army, 6-5. Cadets lead the Middies, who are 9-2. Again, one of my thought processes behind this game was Army's pretty much had the season was shot back in August when they lost at home to Tarleton State in the season opener, or close to it, the 1AA team. And, after that, of course, the loss to North Texas in the conference was really hurt them as well. They pretty much, at that point, you're playing for Navy. I mean, you want to get to a bowl. You want to win 6 games minimum. And they did that. They were a good enough team. They should have done that. There's talent there. It's sort of underachieved. Whereas Navy's had, a bigger picture. They had a really weak schedule most of the year. They were beaten up pretty badly by Notre Dame, but they were competitive in most other games. They were in it to win it, conference, all the way to the last, 2 weeks ago. So, they had big ambitions and aspirations. even though the schedule didn't put them against a lot of the best teams in that AAC. They've been competitive most of the year and built up 9 wins, not by accident. So sort of had bigger things to worry about than other than Army, whereas it's been the other way around for Army. They've been able to focus on this game for weeks at the minimum. So second and the last play was for only a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 6. 196 to 193. And now Navy will have a time possession edge here in a minute, in a couple of seconds, sorry. Play fake. Back, pass, out of the gun, complete. That's the same guy, Heidenreich. First down, Navy. Big play, good execution. Yeah, good execution all the way around there. Hofstra leads Syracuse on ACC channel, 52-49 on at the Carrier Dome. For those of you interested in a basketball update, Hofstra in that game was catching 9.5 earlier. Oh wow, Navy all the way down to the Army 24. No, hang on, sack back to the 20. What happened? Looked up for a second. Now Army celebrating. Oh no, 99 blew the play up. Oh my goodness. 99 just beat 2 guys by himself. He beat the back and the center, or the guard. Wow. Illinois, by the way, laying 9.5 on Peacock against Nebraska. The Cornhuskers lead at 66-58 in Champaign. Horvath on the draw at 2nd and 20. He gets maybe 4 back. They put themselves in a really untenable situation here. Be 3rd and forever. Clock moving now inside of 13 minutes. Here we go, gun for Horvath. He's got 2 to the right, 1 to the left, an H-back to the right for trips, and his running back is offset to his right. Army with a 3-man rush. Back, fires, incomplete. Horvath, his arm isn't his strength. Let's just face it. Athlete-wise, he can do a lot of things. He's no Division I throwing quarterback. Yeah, that was only a 2-man rush. They dropped the nose out into about 8 yards across the middle and just they weren't going to let him throw that slant. 4th and 17. Ateska's a lot of times the receiver that catches a lot of those passes. Heidenreich's been the only guy that's caught anything today for Navy. This punt hits and bounces. It's picked up at the 23, and he's dropped right at the 23. 47-yard punt, return of 1 to the 24. That's where Army will start. 12:06 to go in regulation. Army up 6 with the ball. Points here would be really, really beneficial. Put this thing to bed. Put it to bed. What's happening in Davis, California? I need to pull up that box. I have not done that yet. I've been watching Illinois State with the kickoff return, and I've been watching them go on the drive. I saw Cal Davis's drive. Let's see what happens here. 20-10. Oh, they scored again. What happened here? Or did they take it away? I only see 14 on the... Okay, here we go. Oh, no. Cal Davis fumble? Yeah, Dylan Morrow, 6-yard carry down to the Illinois State 7. The ball came out. And so Illinois State gets it on the first play. Daniel Sobkowitz, 93 yards from Rittenhouse on the bomb. What are they doing? Let's see, 4-3, play fake. He's in the slot. There's nobody there. Oh, there's one-on-one. He beat the defensive back, and that's it. He gone. 93 yards. Illinois State, 4:21 to go in the first quarter. The Redbirds are in business again. Tommy Rittenhouse, you could see him having a monster game today. He threw 5 picks last week, and they still won. Oh, Motoy, I should have had a talk with you, my friend. Good Lord. So just one-on-one coverage, and that's it. He just went. I'm going to go, and they threw it up to him. He's like, I'm going to beat you, and he did. No flag. That's it. They just caught it. 93 yards later, that's it. Touchdown. Yardage is 185 to 160 Cal Davis, and they only have 10 points. 5 for 57 and a field goal, 6 for 75 and a touchdown, 8 for 68. Oh, no, it wasn't a fumble. Downs. They got stopped on downs? Oh, man, that's brutal. Hang on. What happened there? Turnover on down, so they went for it on 4th and 7 and only got 6. Okay, well, I mean, it takes balls to go for it. That's not putting a lot of confidence in your defense not to kick a field goal there. God, that's borderline offensive interference. They didn't call it. Hofstra now up 8 at Syracuse. That's their largest lead. Army-Navy fixing to start the live price this time. Army 5.5 minus a bunch of money. Maybe minus 50, minus 40. 33 over 45, 33 over. There's a 33 flat out there as well. So differing opinions on what the total is supposed to be. I always have trouble going. I'd say 33 is still a bet. You could only go. I couldn't go over that because it's still one touchdown only. But a touchdown puts it on the number. The problem is Army will go for 2. Most likely, if they score a touchdown, that means 34 is in play. And if it's Navy that scores, that puts it on 17-16. You can't win your dormy. I don't know. It's tough, man. A lot has to happen. 33.5 under would be a good price. An under a lot because it could be Navy that scores. Still 12 minutes to go, so who knows? I couldn't do anything. Helms goes into the middle for about a yard only after some eye candy, nothing happening. NC State and Kansas are underway in Raleigh. Kansas just hit a 3, their first bucket of the game. 2.5 minutes in at the Lenovo Center. They lead K-State 3-2. That game's on ESPN. For those of you who weren't with me at the start here, I'll be around no more than the next 2 hours, probably another hour. I'll probably stick around for 1 more hour. That's it. I'm going to call it. Definitely want to be watching ESPN tonight from Rupp when Indiana plays Kentucky. That's Vital and Barkley. I love Barkley, those of you who know me. There's a throw. It's intercepted. Not even close. Helms threw it on what looked like a flag route. He was running to the right, rolling right. Didn't have anything on it. Not the strength. Got a little pressure. Yeah, he couldn't sit back and wing it. I think it's a little bit of coaching saying, hey, maybe we do a better job of trying to dump that. Oh, yeah, there's an open crosser. Oh, he was open. Yep. By the time the throw came, he never had a chance. Yeah, he should have. He should have ran it. And that's what the coach is telling him. So Navy takes it back after the interception. They'll start, let's see. They'll start at midfield. 11:19 to go. 16-10 Army. Live prices adjustments coming shortly. I may get a look at Navy here. And I would recommend don't do what I'm doing if you're not involved with the game. This would be just a hedge against my gameplay. Not a big one, but I think it's worth a little bit. There's just so many points to work with when you're taking Army plus 6.5 for the game. Now you're in a spot where Navy's catching a number that's friendly, I guess would be the right word. Let me see, Pittsburgh, Villanova. I need to find that. What else is going on here? Nothing else really yet. Southern Utah plays Washington on the Big Ten channel. Okay. Live price Army 2.5 minus 28 at Chris. Let's see what the rest of the market comes up with here. 33.5 under 26. That was my total that I was discussing. Interesting that they went higher. That half point's worth a ton at this point in the game from 33 to 33.5. Especially now that Navy has the ball because they're going to kick an extra point if they score a touchdown. Montana scores again against South Dakota on the first play of the fourth quarter. They lead 37-7 against the Coyotes, and they will have easily booked their spot into the semis. They'll get the winner of South Dakota, Montana. I'm sorry, they'll get the winner of, they'll get Montana State. They go to Bozeman next week. Montana will go down to Bozeman, and that'll be a semifinal. What a great game. That game ought to be on ABC for sure if they're going to put this one on there. 5 plays, 75 yards, long pass for the touchdown. We start the fourth quarter. Montana in complete control. They're going to get the money against South Dakota. Villanova wins today at Tarleton. They'll get the winner of Illinois State and Cal Davis. If Illinois State wins, Villanova will play a home game, which I'm quite sure that if you'd have told them that 3 weeks ago, they'd have told you your dick's loose. Illinois State wins at number 1 seed ND State last week, and they're playing at number 8 Cal Davis today. If the Aggies pull it out at home, they will get to host Villanova next week. Roughing the passer penalty against Illinois State. So Cal Davis is in business. ESPN Plus for that one. ABC for that other game I was telling you about. Army, 2.5. The dog money at Pinnacle, 2.5 flat-ish. Chris, 33.5 under money at both. As we start at midfield here, 11:19 left for the Naval Academy. Tight end motions right, H-back motions right. Backfield is empty. There's 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Here comes motion to the left. Jet sweep action. They give it to him. He makes a guy miss. There's a good block. He gets the corner out of bounds, but not before he gets a first down. Boy, that play looked like it had no chance to succeed. Who is that? Woodson? This guy's going to be the quarterback next year? Jesus. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I had him. That's right. How about that? I forgot that was the guy. He stepped out of bounds about a yard short of the first down. They didn't call it. Gave him 10 instead of 9. Either way, I'm sure that's better for Army anyways. 2nd and 1's a nightmare. Although against Service Academy, maybe not so much. So gain of 5 on this one. Second and 5, and there's an Army injury here. 62's down. 10:34 to go. 2nd and 5. They'll probably take another timeout here. Oh, I missed it. They said that next Saturday they already scheduled the game. It's on TV. I missed the channel. I think it said 4 p.m. Yeah, there'll be bowl games next week, so I'm not sure where they're going to slide the 1AA playoffs in. I can't remember if the schedule will be the same or not. A couple of things will be different. The Bahamas Bowl's out, and they're putting in another Frisco Bowl. There's 2 of them at that stadium now, I think, where the Cowboys practice. Second and 5 at the Army 35. Horvath's keeper gives him now 28 for 98 again. He'll have to go. He was flirting with the 100 until he went backwards once at the start of the quarter. Live price now, Army 2.5 dog money or 2 minus money. I'm not really sure where the 2 plays in here. Army's going to kick. Navy kicks that go for 1. Army, I guess it could fall Army 2. 11:18. That's too much time to be speculating. I call Alvin the Chipmunk. I caused the storm when in 2022 offered betting offshore on whether Biden would attend the Army-Navy game. Suffice to say, minus 400 didn't was the winner. I would have laid $4 for whatever I could bet. I would have laid 4,000 probably on that. I feel like somebody at one point put up a Trump price, maybe Bell Online, put up a Trump price on whether he'll attend that game or not. Thanks for the comment on YouTube, Alvin the Chipmunk. That's an interesting observation. I'd like to see that ticket, like I said, just to get a good chuckle out of it. There's something else there with because I mean obviously Trump's been to this game multiple times. I think he went in 2016 when he was first got elected. He was there the first time. Or was it even? No, it was. He had already been elected. Yeah, I think. Yeah, he got elected in November, and so, well, I can't remember. I feel like the announcer said that was the first time that they had it with Vern and Danielson, and he said that Trump was in the booth with him in 2016, but he wasn't even the president until he got inaugurated in 2017. Either way, I know he was there again today, and he's been there multiple times, which, there's nothing wrong with that. This is the best rivalry in all sports, and anything that's this close to DC allows him to get to it without having to do anything besides take his helicopter. Go ahead. I'm going to try to keep an eye on this. Oh, I missed it already. They put it up. I was going to see when they had they're showing the highlights of the first Montana State-Montana game. And I missed it. They're going to say when that game's on TV. Fuck! Hang on. I got an idea. I'm curious about this. I'm going to make my schedule this next weekend around those games. Those are great games. This 1AA stuff's not a joke. North Dakota State, when they got beat last week, power rating wise, were in the mid 30s of the whole country, like 1A, 1AA, all of it, like ahead of several SEC teams. Like North Dakota State would have been a favorite against Kentucky, would have been a favorite against Auburn, it's not like it's bad football. It's great football. Yeah, I got to go to the home page. It's not going to let me refresh. Let me see. Maybe it will. Season home. Bowl games. Yeah, they don't fucking motherfucker. It's 3 playoff games for the actual college football playoff, and then the 1AA playoffs are that day too. ABC has the first round college football playoff, and then TNT and True TV have the Tulane, Ole Miss, and James Madison, Oregon games. The problem is I don't know where they're putting the 1AA. There will be playoff football, and I will be streaming next week. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do it just yet. The games are at 9 Pacific, noon or 12:30 Eastern, and 4:30 Eastern. I'm sorry, these are all Pacific. 9, 12:30, 4:30. So noon, 3:30, and 7:30 is what it shows. I'll have to adjust. Please keep an eye on your calendar. TwitchTV.com /schedule, I think, is the link under my Rex_Byers page. So you guys get to the page and then check the schedule out. Navy, huge gain on first down inside the 5. They will have a goal to go and a chance to take the lead. Clock moves inside of 8:30 to go. As Horvath, this give is to Zexa. It's his biggest carry of the game by a lot. 24 for him. That gives him 7 for 43 on the day. Navy's yardage is now 248 to 194, and it seems like Army's starting to wear down. Combination of some mental mistakes, and now it's 1st and goal at the 4. Horvath keeps it, runs it off left tackle, bangs it back to the inside. He's inside the 1. I don't think he got there. He's close. Maybe a foot away. South Dakota has scored a touchdown. It'd be nice if they score one more, get the second half cash. 13:51 to go in Missoula. 38-14, Montana. His knee, I think, was down. They're going to review this. Yeah, they're going to review it. If the ball got to the plane, it's in. I don't think it did, but let's see. No, he didn't quite get there. He's closer than I thought he was earlier. It's going to only be a few inches. The clock is stopped at 7:42 for this review. It'll be 2nd and goal, really close to the goal line. Illinois, Nebraska on the Peacock channel. Good one. Nebraska undefeated here. Illinois pressing. Huskers up 2, 90 seconds to go in regulation with the ball. The NBA Cup on Amazon Prime is underway. from Las Vegas is T-Mobile Arena. Magic and the Knicks, the Eastern Conference Final. The winner will play the winner of San Antonio, Oklahoma City later on tonight. Wembayama in for the Spurs. With that being said, I'm a big fan of Oklahoma City in this game. Unfortunately, everybody else sees the same thing I do. Combination of they did not win it last year and Wembanyama coming back from injury. I discussed this with Ed last night at the Westgate when I was down there visiting with him. He tended to agree. Oklahoma City to play here. Just hate having to lay 11 points, but I can't make a case for the Spurs with Wembanyama in. With him out, I would actually like the Spurs. They've been playing so good. It kind of wrecks the combination of momentum and it wrecks the rotations. He hasn't played in a while. I'm very anti first game back injury when a guy's been out for a while, and it screws up a lot of things that were going their way. Cal Davis is down 21-17. Looks like they got an interception. Big return, and that's either I think it's got to be an interception. I see offensive linemen on the field for Illinois State. First play of the second quarter or close to it. Cal Davis at 21-7. Oh, the ball's out! Oh, and Navy recovers it. Heidenreich in the right spot at the right time. Second and goal play. Oh, man. Army tried to pick it up and scoop and go, and instead of falling on it. Oh, so Cal Davis, there were 38 points scored in the first quarter, and Cal Davis is trying to take the lead back. Yeah, the pass was horrible and picked off. Big return for Cal Davis. Oh, man, this guy for Army's got to be the sickest man in America right now. Third and goal now, back at the 8. Clock down inside of 6:50. Horvath back, drops back, rolls right, tripped, throws it, incomplete. He might have been down by contact. It's not fumble. It's either an incomplete pass or sack. Incomplete pass on the field. They'll review that. Onside kick by South Dakota. They might have gotten it. I just don't know if it went 10 yards. I think it did. Yeah, they're going to get this. Fourth and goal, 6:37. They did not review it. I thought his knee might have been down. And Navy's going to go for this. As good as their defense has played this half, I'm surprised by this. 2 to the right, 2 to the left, shotgun, back offset to the right, 4-man rush, over the middle, complete. Touchdown, Navy, Heidenreich on a slant. And the Naval Academy has tied the game. 6:32 left to go. Well, you can't say you haven't had your chances if you're Army. That's for sure. Navy's made some plays. Army hasn't. Not in this half. Yeah, it looks like maybe an option route. I mean, he's playing him outside, so all he had to do is just cut to the middle. There's nobody home. The extra point is good, and Navy has taken the lead for the first time since the first quarter. 17-16, Naval Academy, 6:32 left. We'll see a live price here shortly. Hang tight. Hamilton's interception sets it all up as they only have to go 9 plays and 50 yards after the pick. 4:47 off the clock. Navy on 4th down. That's their first conversion of the day in their first attempt. Well, you got one college football game today, and it's standalone spot, and it might be there for not too much longer. I'm not sure how much longer it's going to be before they fix some things with the system, move it from 12 teams to 16, move the season up a week so they start playing more playoff games this week and not next. All those things are potentially in play. And again, the problem with all that is it takes away luster, a lot of luster from this one, and that sucks because we've gotten a treat today. This has been awesome. They did not give South Dakota the ball on the onside kick. I'm not sure what happened. It's 38-14 Grizz, but it's 4th and 19, so they're going to have to punt. So South Dakota very live to slide in the back door here. And I'm very live to have to go make an adjustment to my blinds. I forgot that I slid back into the sun here. Was not prepared for it. Weather in Las Vegas is absolutely tremendous right now. I'm not sure where most of you guys are in the country. I noticed back home in a lot of areas that are hosting games this weekend in the NFL, the weather is, let's just call it less than fortuitous. It's probably the right way to describe it. I did some work on the weather earlier this week, and I haven't gotten an update yet. I'll have to do that. I'll have to do that more so later tonight, just to kind of go over a couple things to see if I want to do anything with the NFL. There's a couple games that I do like, and I'll share them with you. I'll do it with you now, actually, after this live update. 6:32 left in the Army-Navy, 17-16. The Navy leads. I don't see much of a live price out there. Was there even one there the last time? Surely to Christ, somebody had to deal something. Okay, so pick 83 Navy, -1 the dog 70 Army, 35.5 over and 36 under. The two numbers. I think under 36 is a terrible bet. I can't see this being the final score. Just too much has to happen. There's too many timeouts left. There's too many. I mean, Navy wants to milk it if they get it back, but that doesn't mean they're going to let them. Army will start at the 25. 6:32 left. Play fake. Helms keeps it and gets nothing. Army's offense has been absolutely ineffective in the second half. Yeah, it's 68 today, 72 yesterday, 67 tomorrow, 70, 70, 70, 70, and 70 the next 5 after that. Unfortunately, on Wednesday, I fly back to Louisville, and I'll be in southern Indiana for the next 2 weeks. That won't be any fun, but it's not going to be like tonight. It'll be back in the 40s when I get there. Tonight, they're calling for a low of 5 degrees, high of 15 tomorrow. Yeah, good luck with that. In Louisville. Roll right, Helms fires it out of bounds, nobody home, not even close. 3rd and 10. Army in big trouble. There is a flag. Let's see what the call is. There's a hold, offensive holding. They're going to take it. It'll be 2nd and 20 almost for sure. .550 to go, clock stopped. Yeah. Weather tomorrow will be an impact. Browns, Bears, bitter cold and wind as the front goes through. Ravens, Bengals, very cold. Chargers, Chiefs, I'm not sure. I need to look at that again. Packers, Broncos, that should be okay. Panthers, no. What was there? There's another game that's supposed to be some cold. Oh, Dolphins, Steelers on Monday is supposed to be bitter cold. Here we go. 2nd and 20. Helms rolls, takes it, gets 7 back. It'll be 3rd and 13 instead of 3rd and 10. Clock moves inside of 5:40 now. This ESPN schedule tonight is really incredible. It's like a septuple header. IU, Kentucky at 7:30. Arizona and Alabama at 9:30 on a neutral. I think that game's in Birmingham. And then UCLA, let me check that. UCLA Gonzaga tonight, and that's in Seattle. So you got IU, Kentucky, neither one are ranked currently. I don't put a lot of stock in that. Those are still 2 of the best 25 teams in the country. I think Indiana's at least on the fringe of it. Helms rolls, looks right, fires across his body downfield in a double coverage, and it's going to be dropped. Probably interception wouldn't have been the worst thing ever there. They're going to have to punt it, and they only have 2 timeouts left. Monken was losing his shit on that first drive of the second half when they had to do that. There were 2 back there. It probably could have been picked. 84 didn't really have much of a chance to make a play back at the Navy 40. It was a long pass. Falls incomplete, and there will be a punt from the Army inside of 5 minutes. And with only 2 timeouts left, you know how it is. Navy will do what they can to bleed it out. There's not going to be anything given. Roll right, rugby style punt. It's a good one. It rolls, it hits, it bounces to the 34, caught, smashed at the 37, 38. 4:50 left, and Navy will take over at the 38. CBS, I'm guessing, will go to a commercial here because who knows how many times that they're. Well, I guess they got Army's timeouts coming up. No timeout. Here we go. And that means no live line. That's disappointing. Nothing to do. Here we go. The Navals will start it there. Horvath, his own draw. He's on kind of a delay. Gets himself 4. Out to the 41. 2nd and 6. They're really doing a number on this clock. It's going to get right down near 4 minutes. That's why part of the reason why they had to end the delay. They waste time. Motion left. Back into the backfield. Horvath keeps it again. Bangs his way through. This is a typical moving the sticks. Oh, they're moving the pile now too. They gave him the extra 2 yards after the forward progress appeared to be stopped. Huge difference now. It's going to be 3rd and 2 instead of 3rd and 4. Yeah, that to me, the progress was stopped. They should have blew the whistle before that. But it's easy for me to say that. I got an Army ticket plus 6.5. To this point, Horvath just made one more play, basically. Just not a whole lot separating them, really. Get right down to it. There's the give on the ground on 3rd and 2. To Heidenreich, and he bangs his way through for about 4. First down. 3:07, and the clock will continue to move. And that'll do it for Army's ability to give up any more first downs. Got to get the ball back. Only way to do that is to, like I said, they called that timeout to start the second half. Hofstra leads Syracuse 70-68 on the ACC channel. That's inside of 30, so right at 30 seconds left at the Carrier Dome. 9-point dog. And Nebraska has beaten Illinois in Champaign. They stay undefeated, 11-0. 10-point dog or whatever, they win it outright. Give it to Teska again. He blasts his way through the middle down to the 44. Give him 5. This will prompt an Army timeout. 2:29 left. Yeah, that's exactly right. 2:29 left with 1 timeout. That's all they need to do is get 5 more yards. And it will be the Army alma mater that gets played first. You can see that the sun is creeping into my situation here. I'll adjust accordingly after we get this thing to go final or after the 2-minute warning, one or the other. No live price anywhere. Boise State, Washington total is getting bet to 54 everywhere pretty much. Still a couple of holdouts offshore, 53.5 at BetOnline and BetWar. The side, there is, I don't see any Rebel 10s actually. Turka 10, the dog 15. I don't understand that line. Either use 9.5 or use 10 flat. 10 the dog 15 serves no purpose. What are they doing? What's the point of using 10 the dog 15 in a bowl game with a total in the 50s? Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know who's booking the college football over there today, but that's like such an irresponsible. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you not let somebody lay 110 on both sides of that game? And to be fair to the Westgate, unless they're booking all those games at -05, what's the point of that? 9.5 -05, unless it's an 05 because it's game day and it's 05 both ways. That's fine. 9.5 flat, which in an 05 line is fine. Unless Circus line's also the same way, that's a stupid price. Like, just use 9.5 flat or 10 flat. Like, there's no reason to put juice on the dog or the favorite in these games. I mean, just book them 11 to 10 and let your juice do its work. All right, I'm off my soapbox as an ex-bookmaker, line maker, whatever, both. 2nd and 5. The run is to the full, but Heidenreich again, he bangs his way for about exactly half of it. 3rd and 2.5. It's not an official stat. They're going to give him the forward yard. That's the way the box score works, so it'll be 3rd and 2. 2:24 left. Army has called its last timeout. Hofstra has the ball up 1, 18.6 to go against Syracuse on the ACC channel. I need to make a TV adjustment. It doesn't have to happen yet. South Dakota at the 9-minute mark is in the red zone against Montana. A touchdown here would get me the second half cash. Please go ahead and do it. Back foot throw, terrible, incomplete. 2nd and 10, 8:49 to go up there in Missoula. Illinois State up 21-17. How did they get a stop? I thought UC Davis was inside the red zone, and it's like they haven't come close to stopping them all day. What happened? Drives. INT, they threw a pick? Oh, no, downs. They got stopped on downs again at the 4. So Illinois State has started this drive at the 4, and they've taken it all the way down to near the red zone. So now the yardage is the same, 267 to 262. And 38 points in the first quarter, and no points so far in the second. We've played 9 minutes. My feed's behind because I'm showing 1st and 10 at the Davis 27, and they have it at the 49 right now. Okay, there it is. 15 and then 8, and then another 8, and then 14 more. Okay. Yeah, I got to stop watching that game. Let's sweat the end of this Army-Navy. Army plus 6.5. I don't think it's in any peril unless they break one, which is not out of the question. Army's going to have to sell out here. This is probably the last play where there's any real threat of that. Here we go. 3rd and 3, they call it. Horvath, quarterback draw. He fumbles. He recovers. And I don't know if he got it now. He might have lost it again. He fumbled. He caught it. He fumbled again. And Army got it. Here we go. Here we go. 2:07 left, and the United States Military Academy will have a chance to win the game. Oh, a critical error by Horvath this time. 5:53 for Army, hit him right where he needed to. And he reached forward to try to get the first down. Horvath did, which is great awareness. Just unfortunate. It's hard to fumble the ball twice on one play. Oh, they're gonna overturn this. The fumble, there's no fumble. He didn't steal the ball until it was too late. Yeah. I saw it live and I remember thinking, that's not a fumble, is it? Oh, 30, just a bad break. He's still going to be short of the first down, but only by a little bit. I'm not even sure. They're going to have to fix the fumble, first of all, and they're also going to have to fix the spot. Are you allowed to fumble it and advance it? I mean, that turned into a great play for Navy. He was smashed. He was going to lose yardage, and then he ended up gaining a yard or two. What a fortuitous situation for Horvath. They're going to overturn this almost for sure. 2:15, so it's going to go under the 2-minute warning. It'll be 4th down. I didn't hear what the spot is. Hey, South Dakota's in. Excellent. Tyson Bowes, complete from Aiden Bowman. South Dakota now trails 38-22 after the 2-point conversion. 11 plays, 91 yards, 3:41 off the clock. 38-22. And they went for 2, which was still okay outside the 1.5 was still not bad. That's why I said 1.5 at halftime was a big deal, because they were going to start doing that. If they had not gotten it, it would be 14-13 second half. We'd still be in good shape. But the plus 1.5 is now a winner. 17-16, 4th down for Navy. 1 yard to go. And that's just unfortunate. The fumble happened at the spot. There would have been no gain. It would have been 4th and 3 had they had to go back to the spot where the fumble occurred, which in the NFL, that's what happens. College, you get the 2 yards, so it's 4th and less than 1 at the Army 41 at the 2-minute warning. Army out of timeouts. A Navy yard here will win the game. Is no lie, not surprisingly. (38-22), South Dakota trying to buck up. The defense has been much better. They have the momentum now, which is, again, that's why I was counting on at the end of the first half. That's why when it stopped in the second half, I thought, well, we're done here. Not done here just yet. It's a 2-score game. And another score will cut it to 8 and put it right on the number. Close to 8, 8.5 everywhere. So let's see what happens. Pittsburgh, Villanova, 61-55 on TNT. 8 minutes to go there. In my TV situation, I told you I was going to fix it the 2-minute warning, and I haven't done that yet. Syracuse has the ball against Hofstra, down 1. Drive, attack, no good, and no foul. 3.6 to go. Hofstra will shoot free throws. And I got to close my blinds. Back in just a second here. No mute. It's just so impossible to price this in game because Navy's such a huge favorite in the game to begin with. And they're such a huge favorite to get less than a yard here. Although I can promise you one thing, they're a huge dog to run a quarterback sneak at this point. The quarterback's now fumbled on two quarterback keeps that are just trying to get a shove or a push. Deserves to come down to Army having the ball. That's disappointing that they couldn't take advantage. And I really can't believe that Navy scored a touchdown on 4th and forever. They even went for it and didn't kick a field goal with this much time left. Here we go. Yeah, they're going to sell the whole thing out. If Navy throws the ball here, they're going to cover. Here we go. Bang it forward, 1st down Navy. Gain of 2. That'll do it. Navy will sink 2nd, and Navy will not cover. Army gets the money in a 17-16 loss. The Naval Academy in Baltimore will win the game. They do not cover any numbers. Bet up from 4.5 to 6, 6.5. We took 6.5 here. I'll take it. I'll take the W and move on. I'd like to see Army win the game. They feel like they played better for the most part. Navy's got a little bit better talent, but not enough to where they should have ever been positioned to cover, and they weren't. Army the correct side in this game. Stats didn't bear it out in the end. Navy dominated the 4th quarter. But not with a ton of points, obviously. The 1 touchdown gets them the cash, or gets them the win, not the cash. 17-16 will be your final. Total was 37.5 and 38. It stays under once again. this series with a barrage of unders. This is the 8th game this year. Army will have been decided by 7 or less, which is tied for most of anybody in the country. I'm actually curious who's number 1. Oh man, big first down for Montana, and they're out past midfield. That sucks. Yeah, Horvath 2 fumbles and Navy got them both. I mean that was your difference. Given how great Horvath's been, he was much better in this game last year than he was today. That's the last knee, and that'll do it. That was a really good football game. Fun to watch. Do, 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 do. That's about as good of a point as you can make. Navy was ready to celebrate, and Army was not ready for them to do it in their face. Oh, so Danielson's going to retire. Okay, makes sense. Interesting angles here going into the bowls. This game was a fucking ball buster, man. I mean, right down to the fucking wire, and I mean, it was absolute battle. I don't know what to expect from these teams going forward. Let me look and see the prices. I know that there's a ton of opt-outs for one of these teams. Is it UConn? One of them plays UConn, and UConn's whole team is going to leave because Mora's not coaching anymore. $229 and $230 Army plays in the Fenway Bowl on the 27th, 2 weeks from today, against UConn. They're laying 7 and 50 and a half. I could never have Army after today. I don't care who plays for UConn. This game was their season. They clearly put everything that they had into it. I'm going to be looking at UConn in that game, even without the quarterback or half their team. I'll have to do some more work on that game. Navy plays Cincinnati. That's a different story. Cincinnati, Sorsby's not going to play. Cincinnati opened the favorite. Navy's now laying 4.5. That's on the Liberty Bowl down in Memphis on January the 2nd. On a Friday, that's almost 3 weeks. It's 3 weeks from now. Yeah, little different story. I can see Navy being okay, but Army, I can never have them in the bowl game. The situation, the spot will be terrible. I mean, you play your whole year for this. And Navy got them last year when Army was favored. Alma mater time. Here they go to the other end. Yeah, you always want to hear your song heard second in this game. Funny, the only reason you guys think I'm not a Navy veteran or anything, our high school fight song was the Navy alma mater. So, of course, the song will always hold a fond place in my heart. 30 all in Raleigh. Kansas and NC State are at the half. 6:21 Eastern here on the SweatBox. I am Rex Byers, your host, YouTube TV, Twitch TV. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for Army Navy. Hell of a football game. Navy wins it 17-16. Army gets the money, and the game stays under the totals. 1AA football playoff action. Villanova beats Tarleton State, and they will await the winner of Illinois State Cal Davis. 27 seconds to go before the half. Still no score. I'm on a delayed feed. Let me go to the box there because I'm going to stick around for that halftime. That'll probably be it. Consider it sweat the rest of Montana, South Dakota, I guess. I'd like for Montana to run the clock out as we have a second half bet on South Dakota. Unfortunately, 3:28 left, and it's going to be first and goal for the Grizz. And a chance to get back ahead of the number. I guess Nebraska won on a buzzer beater. I have to see what happened in that game. The highlights are on ESPN right now. Those of you who have no plans tonight or don't care about what's going on with life and enjoy being entertained, you'll have Dick Vitale, Charles Barkley, and Dave O'Brien calling a game with a three-man crew tonight at Rupp Arena. Vitale's 87, and he's lost a lot off his fastball, but still probably pretty fun to work with and listen to in these kind of exciting games. You know, intersectional rivalries. Indiana hasn't played Kentucky in forever. The Hoosiers won in 2011 at home on a last-second three by Christian Watford when Kentucky was ranked number 1 in the country. I don't think they've played since then. Take it back. Not at a home arena. There may have been a neutral site game one year, and I know Kentucky beat them in the tournament. I think it was that year. Indiana was the number 1 seed. Kentucky was not, and Kentucky beat them later in the season in the tournament. In the same year. That was the Zeller-Watford team. Oladipo, I think, played on that team as well, maybe. But yeah, they're going to get another game during the first 4 in Dayton. So Vitale has never worked an NCAA tournament game because ESPN hasn't had the rights. He's never gone against ESPN to do this. But with the fact that ESPN and TNT are already in bed now with the NBA, kind of, Barkley, Kenny Smith, Ernie Johnson and Shaq's show, which is the best sports studio show of all time, and there's not a close second, Inside the NBA, is now an ESPN property. And even though it's produced by the TNT people, it's still run out of Atlanta. That show being on ESPN now sort of created a sort of a mutual sharing society, if you want to call it. I'm not sure. And certainly Vitale at his age isn't going to get many chances if he ever wants to call an NCAA game. This would be as good as time as any. I think that was a good job done by both parties to get them together, not only for this one tonight, because it's a great rivalry game. IU Kentucky is a tremendous basketball rivalry, but the fact that they're going to work a game together in Dayton on either Tuesday or Wednesday of the first 4 is awesome. I mean, it'll be great. I'm not an announcer fan ever, but I do love Barkley, and I'll listen to him. Like I listen to Charles Barkley talk about, if you had a contest to see who could pick the biggest booger, I'd listen to Charles Barkley commentate. Like he could make anything entertaining. Like if I could pick a list of people, he's on a very short list, inside of a handful or 2 handfuls. Certainly I would, to pick somebody to have dinner with, Charles Barkley's on that list. And I have an actual pretty good story that I won't tell now, but remind me in the future. Tweet at me or whatever, Rex_Byers on Twitter, about Sonny Smith, who was Barkley's coach at Auburn. He was speaking at a coaching clinic when my dad was the president of the IBCA, which is the Indiana Basketball Coaches Association. This is back in the late 90s, maybe mid-90s. It's a really good story. It's too long for me to tell it right now, even though there's nothing going on. I'm going to save it as a teaser for the future, just so I can get more people seeing it. There's not a big crowd right now, obviously, and I do appreciate those who are checking me out today. And I would appreciate it if you tell a friend. Figure out a way to hit the like button, subscribe. It doesn't cost you any money to doing this stuff. The bell icon on YouTube is, it's free, and then obviously on Twitch, just follow me. Simple. It'll help make others be aware of the situation. You'll be able to know when I'm coming live without having to worry about the schedule or guess about me putting it on Twitter. Just follow. If I get some followers up past 50, that'd be awesome. So I appreciate you for that. Thanks for hanging out. We have a touchdown for Montana, so 2.5 to go. The extra point is good. They're back ahead of the number in the second half, 21-15. I need a South Dakota State touchdown to get the 1.5 cash in the only live or second half game play we've made since the SweatBox started, which was over 3 hours ago. We're into our 4th hour of the SweatBox. There will not be a 5th. I'll be calling it here sometime in the very near future. 3 seconds to go before the half for Cal Davis. 21-17, a scoreless second quarter at UC Davis Health Stadium. Hunter Ridley has made a 35-yarder. He will have another one here. This one's from 51. This is out. This is a little bit testing his range, if I remember right. I don't think he can make it from here. Snap down up, and it's way right. Also short. No good. So, 38 points scored in the first quarter, 0 in the second. Brock Spack's team will go into the break up 21-17. I'll go over the stats in that one first because there won't be a line just yet. 2:23 to go on ABC. That game is on ESPN Plus, by the way. 45-22 Grizz over South Dakota. I need the Coyotes to score a touchdown to get in the back door for the second half here. Yardage is 314, 278. Aggies, 206 to 193 through the air. Rittenhouse, two touchdowns, 1 interception. Pinnock, 1 touchdown, no picks. 4th down, Aggies are 0 for 2, which means they're only 2 for 4 in the red zone. The drive summary. Illinois State will get the ball first to start the second half. You've got field goal, touchdown. Davis lost it on downs, touchdown, lost it on downs again, and missed field goal. They have not punted. Illinois State, touchdown, INT, and then they also missed a field goal after that 16-play, 80-yard drive that ended at the 16. They missed a 33-yard field goal. So, kicking at the 1AA level, we've learned today, is not quite the same as at the 1A and in the NFL. Some are better at this than others. Let's see. I'll rearrange my TVs, but I don't need to do that while you guys are here. What happened in this South Dakota game? The other team got the ball back. Fuck me. Ah, boy. Okay. Drives. Interception. So that's the first pick that Bowman's thrown today. Two-minute warning, 2nd and 9 for Montana. They'll run it out. I don't see South Dakota trying to call any timeouts. Not worth it at this point. Villanova has beat Pittsburgh 79-61 in Philadelphia. In the game that True TV was so hell-bent to intercept and take Providence and Butler off the air. What a tremendous basketball game that was for those who watched TNT earlier. 113 to 110 Butler. They scored the last 7 points. It goes to double overtime. Largest lead of the game by either team was 8. And there were 30 lead changes and 20 ties. Be hard to find a better game than that in the regular season, I would say. I don't see much of a halftime market yet on Illinois State and Cal Davis. I'm actually going to look this up, see if I can see something. At a couple of places I'm curious myself here. Nothing yet at the Westgate either. Let's see if Circa has anything. Nope. Whole bunch of nothing. Westgate popped at 1.5 and 27.5 on Davis. I actually thought it would come 3. Not a huge difference there. I think 1.5 is too cheap. I think it has to be at least 2. The total is a difficult one to figure out because there are yards, and the number was kind of high to begin with. I think 28 is probably better than 27.5. I feel like a scoreless quarter is so accidental with these teams, but who knows? Illinois State's defense didn't give up anything to North Dakota State last week. This week, Cal Davis has 314 in the first half. Cal Davis has pass plays of 52, 31, 18, and 13. Runs of 23 and 23. So 6 plays have done 46, 77, 129, and 31. 160? 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 plays for 160. And then how many other plays? 34 plays for 154. So a few big plays for Cal Davis, which they live off that. They got it. That potential's there. I watched it last week too. Illinois State has a 19-yard run, a 15-yard run, a 93-yard catch. That was that jump ball at midfield. A 19, a 37. So they've got 278 yards on 26 plays only. They're averaging 10.7 per play. But again, that's ballooned up by the 93. You take the 93 and the 37, that's 130, 149, and 34. 183 on 5 plays. 183 on 5 plays, and then 95 on the other 21. Yeah, it's tough to know. I mean, it's just been a game of big plays, and Illinois State's been the one that's gotten the majority of the damage done with the big plays. Montana gets the money. There will be no backdoor, and there will be no second half cash either. 24-7 at the half. Now the second half score 28-15 Montana. 52-22. Grizz lead it. 4 plays, 27 yards, 144 off the clock after the interception. 2 quick scores from Montana after the lead had been cut to 38-22. That'll do it. Yeah, 2.5, pretty consistent. There is a 3-dog money at Buckeye. That 2.5 number seems closer to being right. Remember, I told you the 1.5 seemed cheap. So they flipped it around to where Illinois State can winning by 3 was not going to get them the money for the game. Now it will. So let's see. Yeah, because they're sitting. Illinois State's up 21-17. So the second half line was going to be Cal Davis plus 2.5. Now Cal Davis is only for the live line plus 1.5. Sorry, I misspoke. And now there's a 3 out there at Buckeye dog money, and the total has gotten blasted through the 27.5 up to 28.5, 29. That's also correct. Total to me seemed like it had to be a little higher, even with the scoreless second quarter. Yeah, no strong opinion here. I would consider Illinois State at plus 3 flat because that means all they have to do is win the game, and they can't not get the money. Like any win at all for Illinois State, even by 1 would be a push. Would be worth consideration. I think that they're right in it. It looks like a dart throw to me. I can't see them getting run out. If you can go to North Dakota State and dominate a game, you certainly can figure out how to slow down Cal Davis's offense. The only excuse would be the travel. I mean, having to go from Normal, Illinois to Fargo and then back to Normal and then out to Davis, California, that would be a viable excuse, and it certainly is one that probably matters today for South Dakota. Having to go to Macon, Georgia, and then back home and then out to Missoula, that's a tough trip. Back-to-back weeks, those are tough trips. No good way to get to Missoula. Yeah. I don't got much else. Why don't you guys chat me if you have any questions or want to talk about anything else here? Otherwise, enjoy the last UFC fight night on ESPN or one of the ESPN networks. Like I said, I certainly recommend, if you've not got anything else to sweat, check out Barkley and Vital working together tonight for the first time, and Vital covering the NCAA tournament for the first time in March, with Barkley again as his co-host. Dave O'Brien has the play-by-play tonight for ESPN. I'm not sure who will be the guy who calls it for TNT when they're in Dayton for the first four, but it'll be Vital's first tournament game at age 87, and that'll be pretty cool. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else. I don't see anybody else that has any questions. So I'm going to call it here on the SweatBox for the day. Boise State, Washington tonight at SoFi. That goes in about 90 minutes in the southwestern part of Los Angeles, Inglewood area, out by LAX. Washington laying 9.5. There is some 10 out there with dog money. 54.5 is the total. There is a 54. Some offshore prices are 53.5 even, circa as high as 55. And in the 1AA playoffs, Villanova beats Tarleton State. Montana beats South Dakota. Montana will play as the 3 seed at Montana State next weekend. Hell of a football game set up for Saturday. Also next Saturday, the playoffs for the 1A, obviously a triple header in the final, and as we get from 12 to 8. And I'll be along with those games as well. I will update my schedule as I figure out what times are going to work out best. I'll be staying with my parents from the 17th through January the 2nd before I fly back out here to Las Vegas. It'll be a different setup. Obviously, I won't have my green screen. I won't have my mic. It'll be a lot different. I'll have a headset for sure, and working off my laptop, maybe even my phone. Who knows? But I'm either way, come hell or high water, we're going to get this SweatBox off the ground. I'm going to try to get some people to check it out. You would be so kind to tell a friend, and maybe they can tell a friend, and we can see what we can do with this thing. You got the NBA Cup today. I guess I'll go over a few scores. NBA Cup is out here in Las Vegas. The Eastern Conference game out here at T-Mobile Arena. Game started at 5:40. The second one goes at 9 Eastern. I believe Amazon Prime has both those broadcasts. I actually put that on. Nothing else is on CBS, right? Put the guide on, check. 59-50, the Knicks lead Orlando. 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Knicks were laying 4 and 225. There was some 3.5 out there as well. San Antonio against Oklahoma City in the nightcap. Again, 9 o'clock Eastern. 11 and 232. There is a 232.5 and a 233 as well in the total. That game's been bet up several points since open, and that's where we stand. I gave you some college finals earlier. You can look that stuff up yourself. You don't need my help. Chattanooga's going to get the money against Auburn, barring an act of God. 80-72. That game's on the SEC channel. Did recommend Chattanooga plus 21, 21.5. Got bet down to 19.5. Auburn up 8 against what's been a disappointing UT Chattanooga team. Quite honestly, I expected a good effort tonight, and we've gotten one. They're only 5 and 5. Auburn is 7 and 3. Let's see. Nothing else worth mentioning, really. Everything's gone. Big Ten channel, Southern Utah, Washington. Like I said, IU Kentucky on ESPN's the big thing tonight. West Virginia and Ohio State play at 8. Could be an interesting game as well. You've got Arizona and Alabama at 9:30 from Birmingham Eastern, and 11:30 Gonzaga and UCLA in Seattle. So ESPN triple header tonight after this Kansas-NC State game. Really, if you want to put that on, it looks like a pretty good game as well. Tied at the break. You got 4 back-to-back games on ESPN. It'll take you right to 1:30 in the morning. It'd be hard if you're stuck with one TV to do better than that. So maybe that's your best bet. That'll do it for me. Thanks for checking me out on the SweatBox. I am Rex Byers, your host. Twitch TV, YouTube TV. I will catch you tomorrow. Be back around top of the hour, a little before, about 10 minutes to the top of the hour, 12:50 Eastern, 9:50 Pacific. We'll go over all the NFL injuries, inactives from the early games, the moves, and my thoughts. Quickly, I don't think I gave you my NFL earlier. I was talking about it, but I never got to it. Like the Raiders tomorrow, really good. Don't laugh at me too much. I do think Kenny Pickett's a significant upgrade from Geno Smith, and I'll mention that tomorrow as we log on as well. The fact that the Raiders are catching 12.5 and 13, it just seems absurd to me. Philadelphia's home field is not a home field with the way they're playing right now. Anytime at first sign things start to go the wrong way, it'll turn into a real quick disadvantage for them. Bills Patriots, big Bills guy tomorrow, -1 or better. Make a really good case for them. It's a home reversal. New England has played nobody with a pulse. They played nobody with a winning record since the last time they played Buffalo. Tampa Bay qualified until they got beat the other night. Now they're 500. Everybody else has had a losing record that the Patriots have played since that Buffalo game back on October the 5th. A little bit different class situation here. Buffalo, the old must win, and I'll give them a chance to do it over a team that I think just isn't that good, quite frankly. Let's see. Colts, Seattle. Phillip Rivers, the quarterback, +14. I'll take my chances. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's more the fact that the Colts have scored 19 or more in every game this year. I don't think Seattle's offense is that good to begin with. I think the Colts defense will play better. They were pretty bad last week. We expect an inspired effort. Like I said, they don't have to win. Just cover 2 touchdowns. I think that can be done. Taylor's going to need to do some things on the ground, but I expect, Seattle's defense has been good against the run. They also haven't played that many teams that are good at running the ball. So some ugly dogs with Raiders and Colts, but I also think Buffalo is a good bet as well. And fairly interested in the Lions at the Rams +6 as well. And hold your nose and think about maybe taking Tennessee +13 with McCaffrey not going. Another hold your nose here, but Frisco doesn't care about any sort of cover here. Just get out alive, stay healthy, and get ready for the Thursday night game in Seattle. And then I think Minnesota's live at Dallas, and they can win that game. I'd like to take 6. It's not there. It's only 5.5. If a 6 flat pops, I think Minnesota's worth a good look. So that'll be that for now. All right, I'll stop babbling, running my old cock smoker here, and let you guys get back to your day. Thanks for checking in. Tomorrow at 12:52-ish Eastern time, we'll log on and try the SweatBox again for another full day of NFL action. Be good. God bless. Thank you for your time. Good luck. Take care.